Hello everybody, we are live. Let me just check before I start that the mic is on. Yes, we are good. So hello, welcome to the stream. I am your host, Sonic the Comic Reviews, and we hopefully will be in for a fun little session tonight. So, I see we've got quite a few people that have joined already. As per usual, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll to the top of the chat box, and I'm going to scroll down reading all the comments and replying to anyone, any questions, comments or whatever. So don't worry, everyone will get a response. Just may take a few minutes. I'm probably going to end up repeating this message a few times this evening. But yes, hello, welcome. Thank you for inviting me into your homes this afternoon, I guess if you're in America, or evening if you are in Europe, or if you're in Asia, then it will probably be the morning. But let's have a little look here. Let's see who we got. Niggles the Jiggles, pretty interesting username. But I see you've got Knuckles the Echidna, the Fleetway Knuckles, I might add. Looks like that's from the Casino Night Arc. So, awesome picture. Radical Hedgehog, hello, welcome back to the stream. Always a blast to see you back again. The True Dragon 345, hello, hey, welcome. Not sure how you pronounce this one. N.Y. Reese Jones, is that how you say it? Hello, welcome. You are the fourth comment, correct. Keeping it kayfabe. Well, that's a pretty cool name. Does that mean you're a wrestling fan? That could well mean if you've got kayfabe in there. But hello, welcome to the stream. Wait until the first comments. 33 to 9. Mecca from the 80s. Hello, welcome to the stream. Thank you for inviting me into your home, or mobile, depending on wherever you are. Love this theme tune, old school. Yeah, that's the video you just watched. That was like a really old, well, not really old, a couple of years ago. It was like an intro theme I used to use. I thought it kind of seemed a little bit appropriate for these streams because there's no topics are off the record tonight. And as you can see, it was not just Sonic the Comic, collectibles, video games, anything. Okay, let's have a little look here. Uno could be played on a live stream. That is true. You know, I haven't played that. When was the last time I don't even know if I ever have played Uno. I'd have to look at the rules on that one first, but I'm sure it is certainly possible. You invited me onto your phone. Well, that's very kind of you. Misty Drago, hello. Welcome to the stream. Nice collection. Well, thank you very much. If you're a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog or, well, anything video game related, then you are in the right place. As you can see, I'm currently sitting here in the game room. And let's see, we've got 10 people in the stream now. Keeping it kayfabe. Yeah, I was pretty certain you was a wrestling fan by the username, but I just wanted to be certain. And rightfully so. I'm a very big wrestling fan myself. It's very awesome. I do have the WWE Network subscription, and I always do catch the pay-per-views, although they are always on UK time. They're always on really late, so it's a little bit of a pain sometimes. But who's your current favourite? I'm guessing WWE, right? You could be a fan of the others as well, maybe more so. As long as you're not a fan of Roman Reigns, that's okay. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. You're a fan of whoever you want. Unknown from me for Knuckles issues. Well, that's his theme song, right? From Sonic Adventure and also Sonic Adventure 2, although it was remixed. I don't remember where my mother put them Uno cards. Well, you'll have to find them for next time. Maybe we'll do a live stream Uno. Mecca from the 80s is asking me, is it possible to promote some Sonic the Comic art? What sort of Sonic the Comic art was you interested in promoting? Is it sort of ones you've drawn yourself? Or is it something that's related to the official Sonic the Comic source? Let me know. Thoughts on Fleetway Supersonic? Well, yeah, he's awesome, really awesome, unique character, especially to the Sonic the Comic universe. It is totally resounding just how popular he is, even after the comic ended its publication 17 years ago. The thing is, I've said this many a times, but a lot of people don't even realise that Fleetway Supersonic is even an official character from an official Sonic comic. A lot of people think that he's just some fan-made character that was made on the internet, in the dark places of the internet years ago. Kind of a little bit like this Sonic EXE thing, but it is surprising to some people when they realise, oh wait, this is actually a guy from an official comic. But yeah, he's awesome. He's obviously one of the best characters from the show, comic. It'd be cool if it was a show. Right, what we got here? Oh my gosh, I gotta see that Club Penguin raid. Penguin raid? You'd have to fill me in on that one. Omar Clements, hello. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining me. You like John Cena? Well, that's great. John Cena's awesome, and he comes across as a really decent human being as well. I know he doesn't really, he's very much on a part-time schedule now, but it's always awesome to see John Cena back in the WWE. By far one of the greatest of one of the greatest wrestlers of the modern era, by far. You've been a big fan of my channel since it started. Wow, well, thank you very much. You flatter me. I am truly honoured to have such loyal fans such as yourself. Aspiro 3M, glad to see you back here on another live stream. Always a pleasure to have you here and talking to you as well. Another long-time subscriber to the channel. It's always a delight to read your responses because they're usually always very long responses, and it's always fun to read. I would answer your question first. Glad I could make it. I've been meaning to ask, how did you get into Sonic? I guess it goes back to around 1992, I think. I was around a relative's house and they had a Mega Drive. Of course, if you've got a Mega Drive, they had Sonic the Hedgehog 1 playing, and I remember being completely blown away with how amazingly awesome and fast-paced this game looked. And I always really, really wanted to play it. And unfortunately, I never had a Mega Drive until like a year or two after that. But my parents did eventually get me a Master System, so I managed to get Sonic the Hedgehog 1 on that. And that was kind of my first exposure into the Sonic the Hedgehog video game world. And it's probably why the first Sonic 1 on the Master System holds a very much nostalgic piece in my heart right here. I absolutely love that game because it's essentially one of the very first video games I ever had or played. And then after that, I remember getting Sonic the Comic issue 27 in the post office, newsagent, whatever you want to call it, and being completely blown away by the amazing stories and art that was in that comic. It was obviously the strip, so just to let you know, it was the Sonic Terminator Part 4. So you had like the Sonic CD game adaptation was at that moment, and I remember being completely blown away by Richard Elson's artwork, and it was incredible, and it really just brought me into the amazing Sonic world. And since then, I guess I just went on to the games and collecting little bits here and there. That's kind of a short, watered down story, but I'll be talking for ages otherwise. But I'm sure a few other people are going to be asking that in the stream tonight. But I hope that answered your question. Thank you for joining again. Niggles the Jiggles, people think Fleetway Supersonic is a creepypasta. Yes, exactly what I've just said. A lot of people don't even think he's a real official canon character. Obviously, he's not canon to the video games. I get comments every day on YouTube, people saying, oh, this is not canon. You're right, it's not canon to the video game timeline. It's not. It's its own continuation, but it is an official endorsed Sega product, which makes it canon to that universe that it is set in. But yeah, it's always fun to correct people. And then sometimes the people from them, when they find out the comic series he's in, they'll start to read it or watch it, and then they'll become a fan of the series. It's always awesome to make new Sonic the Comic fans. Okay, we've got a few comments coming in now. 14 people on the stream. Thank you very much for joining me. I've just got a bottle of Evian water here tonight. Tails the Fox, hello, welcome to the stream. You asked me, how much would you prefer Sonic? To what in comparison? How much would I prefer Sonic to? Give me a little bit of more of a description there on your question, and I will answer it. Mecha from the 80s. Back in 2016, one artist drew Metamorphia for me and posted her on DeviantArt. You'll have to put the link on so I could see that. I'd really be interested to see that. Metamorphia is definitely one of Lou Stringer's most beloved characters, and whenever anyone like Lou Stringer does a panel over Sonic the Comic or Sonic in general, just in case you're not familiar with who Lou Stringer is, he was like literally the second main writer for Sonic the Comic. He wrote a lot of the secondary strips and some of the main ones, and he did some truly amazing stories and strips. And usually characters that get brought up when asked him, characters he created, is either Metamorphia, Short Fuse, or Commander Brutus. There is big three. Okay, we've got Lord Dukestar. Welcome back to the stream. Yes, doing another Q&A session. Kind of, I guess it's Q&A session. It's kind of a sociable stream, I'd like to call it. You can certainly ask me stuff, and then I might ask you guys some questions, because it's always fun to socialise with you guys here on YouTube. It truly does make an enjoyable day and session. I really would like to do more of these. But yeah, thank you very much for joining the stream, Lord Dukestar. Kitten Kid, hello, welcome to the stream. You've asked me, what's your favourite Sonic game? I don't think I could choose one. I have three. I'm going to say this one's a bit of a generic one, and I know it pops up a lot, but Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I'm going to include that as one game, because originally it was meant to be one game. Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic the Hedgehog 1, the Master System version, as it goes back to what I said to Ospyro. Very much nostalgia, piece of memory to me, and to be fair, it's a very solid game. I absolutely really love it. Small Fry 14 saying, hello, welcome to the stream. Do you have issue 100? I still have that issue. It's very precious to me. Of course, issue 100 is one of the amazing finales to the story arc. Yeah, I do. If you check one of the Sonic the Comic playlists, I've done a complete walkthrough of every single issue in hand, because I do own all 223 issues, all 9 poster mags and 4 summer specials. And yeah, issue 100's if you was to say top 10 issues, issue 100 is going to be really high up on there. It brought the return of Super Sonic. It was the finale of Dr. Robotnik's reign over the planet. His entire, I believe it was 91 issue length reign he had over the planet. And it was just an overall awesome story. And it was a 4-part in one comic, and each part was drawn by a different artist, which is a really, and several writers. Well, no, it was only 2. It was Nigel Kitchen and Lou Stringer, and they kind of combined the whole thing into one strip. Amazing story. And it also had a really cool front cover art where Sonic's holding that ripped Robotnik face. Kane Clark, hello, welcome to the stream. Do you read Dragon Ball manga? Yeah, of course. I do own a few. I've got like most of my manga, however people want to say it. I've got it in this wardrobe next to the game room right here. You can't really see it because the camera's not showing it, but I've got a few Dragon Balls in there. I've got a lot of the anime on DVD and Blu-ray above me. It's always going to be my favourite anime. But yes, I do read it and own it as well. I'm always for buying the official sources because you should certainly sustain the industry. But yes, I hope that answered your question. Quinn Moore, sorry I'm late. No need to apologise at all. Yeah, just you being here is an awesome treat for me to chat with my subscribers. Before I read on, I've just got a glass of Pepsi here. Robert Champion, hey, welcome to the stream. So I'm going to carry on reading your comments here, but let me ask you guys a question. What are your thoughts on, is it Sonic Team Racing? I think that's what the game's called, isn't it? Coming out around December. It's kind of like they're doing a unique twist to the racing format. Is it Sumo Digital? I think it is, isn't it? They're the ones who did the first two Sonic All-Stars Racing, and they did Transformed. Pretty fun games. Are you guys interested in picking that game up? It's kind of been released around a bit of a busy time for games because you think it's going to fall kind of in between. You've obviously got the Pokemon game coming out, which we all know is going to be huge because Pokemon as a franchise is massive, and also Smash Bros. So it's got a lot of fierce competition for sales around that time. But let me know if you guys are going to end up planning on picking it up, and what platform are you getting it on? Okay, keeping it kayfabe. Other than Sonic, who's your second favourite character in the series? I'm probably going to say Dr. Robotnik, because he's just such a great villain that's had so many different incarnations. It's like you lose count. Of course, Sonic's had various incarnations, but the principle of them have kind of been similar in a way. Of course, there's some different personality traits that are different, but the core itself is the same thing, whereas Robotnik's had so many different personality traits, incarnations, appearance, looks. I've always been fascinated by his character, whether it's from the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog's Dr. Robotnik to Fleetway Robotnik. He's an absolute awesome character. And of course, Satan Robotnik is a very great incarnation of that character. I'm not so much a big fan of the modern Eggman, they call him. Ever since Sonic Adventure 1, 2, and in 06, they kind of made him a bit too much of a doofus, I find. But he's a great character. Okay, scrolling down, I've got 16 people here on the stream with me so far. Thank you very much for joining me. Quinn Moore, how long have you been working on your Sonic collection? Well, I guess I only started to sort of do display collections around 5 or 6 years ago. The majority of it then was in storage. I guess I started to get bits and pieces probably around 20-ish years ago. I just, I wouldn't say I become a collector in 20 years ago. I just had small little bits and I kind of kept it away. I had a little Sonic collection on a little shelf. The only thing I kind of collected back then would have been Sonic the Comic and maybe some of the video games. But I guess, yeah, about 20 years ago, which is why the collection looks like so big now, because it's amassed over time. I'm not one of these like rich people that you see some of their collections and some of it they've bought over the space of like 5-10 years because they've literally got so much income. I'm not like that at all. It's a collection that's just amassed over time that's got as big, where I've just bought little bits every month. But yeah, I don't really buy too much anymore now because space limitations. I really don't have much. It's kind of, I'm happy where it is now. The only thing I'm kind of looking for is small little tiny bits that I can easily put away. Keychains, posters maybe, like magazines. But small little accessory type things. Not big figure statues anymore. I've kind of gone past that now. Spyro. You must be looking forward to the Spyro game coming out, by the way. Especially by your username and avatar. It's a bit of a shame that the game got delayed a bit, but you'd rather it have been delayed than having a rushed released game. It's a shame because they were clearly hoping to have that game released for Spyro's anniversary, but obviously the game wasn't up to scratch at that point, so they put it back. I'm kind of glad they did. You wouldn't want a rushed, flawed game released. But your question is awesome. Sonic 2 on the Master System was the first Sonic game I remember playing, so that's quite similar to me. It's a really awesome game, Sonic 2 on the Master System. It's actually, I'd probably say it's like one of the hardest Sonic games you can probably get a hold of, at least platformer-wise. It's a very challenging game, especially if you play the Game Gear version, because the first boss on the Game Gear, Sonic 2, as the screen is zoomed in closer, when the balls are coming down from the boss, it makes it incredibly hard to avoid them. Whereas on the Master System, as the camera's out, the balls are much easier for Sonic to jump over. But it's a great game, great soundtrack as well. A lot of people don't realise that the main intro for Sonic CD, Toot Toot Sonic Warrior, is the theme. The original theme song is from Green Hills on Sonic 2, the Master System / Game Gear version. I remember playing Sonic 3. Continuing your comment, Spyro. I remember playing Sonic 3 was the game that really started my Sonic obsession, and what an absolute amazing game to start your obsession. Sonic 3 has really stood well over the test of time. It literally is so replayable and awesome to play. Even its music, of course, you've obviously got the connection to the Michael Jackson involvement with the music. It's just an amazing game. Niggles the Jiggles, I'll be right back. Not a problem. Oh, I've just scrolled down the comments a little bit. Kane Clark, when is your birthday? Well, you're asking a bit of a personal question there. I'm not gonna give you a date because I don't really like divulging personal details. All I'll tell you is that my star sign is an Aries. Mecca from the 80s. Can't post a web address here because Twitter doesn't like it. Okay, yes, fine. If you send it to me on Twitter, I'll you know what? I will do it right now. I will look at it right here, right now. As a notification or as a message? Okay, I think you've sent it to the Sonic the Comic Twitter account. I haven't got that one signed in, but if you send it to this one, this is my sort of main personal Twitter, I'll be able to see that. I'm going to put it in the comment. There we go. The one and only Ceci, I don't believe you've commented yet, so welcome to the stream. Pleasure having you here with me this evening, afternoon, or wherever you are. How does it feel to be giving so many people experiences they wouldn't really have without you? Experiences? What type of experiences are you asking here? How are you referring to, like Sonic the Comic? Yeah, you have to be a little bit more, a little bit vague there. I'm no well, it's a strange comment, but yeah, how does it feel? Yeah, write me that comment out again with a little bit more detail and I'll reply to it. Quinn Moore, do you guys think that the Sonic the Comic Discord would be a cool thing to make? You know, I'm not too familiar with what Discord is. I've never actually been on the website. I see a lot of people nowadays talking about it. Is it kind of like a place where you make a group of people that can talk? Is it kind of like a private message chat thing? You'll have to let me know in the comments because I'm not too familiar with what Discord even is. Does anyone also read the Doctor Who comic series? Well, if any of you guys read the Doctor Who comic series, let Lord Dukester know. I sadly don't, so I can't really talk to you any more of that regard. I'm not even sure who the current actor is playing Doctor Who. It changes so frequently. Is it that Peter Capaldi? Someone like that? It's probably changed. Quinn Mango? Bit strange, but if you like mango fruit, that's awesome. There are some Sonic Discord groups, but most of them are chaotic chats. I'm not surprised. Anything large groups of some Sonic fans can be a little bit hectic. That's all I'm going to say. Nintendo. You've got quite a long username. Nintendo and Sega Live, Steve, Mario, and Sonic. So I'm guessing your name's Steve. Tell me how to find Sonic Joy-Polis and Sonic merchandise from Japan, please. Okay, well, your best bet is eBay. I know you probably was already expecting that answer, but I don't think Joy-Polis plushes are that hard to find on there. In fact, I will look right now. In fact, one of my friends in Japan is often selling the plushes online. Okay, let's see if there are any on here. Well, actually, look, there's one here on a UK seller. So if I just quickly put it on display capture so you can see. So there's if you're in the UK and you don't mind paying it, there's a Sonic Joy-Polis right here. So there's also a Tails one there. To be honest, these are quite overpriced. These are definitely not worth that. But there are some from Japan which are a lot more affordable. See, you've got the Halloween, Christmas one, another Christmas one. So there's quite a few on here. This is your best bet of getting them. If you're America, then this is definitely the best place to be going to look. But yeah. Or learn how to use the Japanese auction sites, such as Yahoo Japan. You'll often see them on there. I personally am not too familiar with using them. I have used them before, but that was years ago, and I certainly can't remember how you do it now. You have to pay someone to buy it, to send it. It's a little bit confusing, but if you read up on it, there's plenty of forums out there that explain how to do this sort of stuff, and it will help you immensely. Okay. I hope that's answered your question. Other than buying the merchandise, other than buying it online, is to actually go to Japan and find it yourself. The Joy-Polis plushes you can't actually buy, but you can win them at amusement games in the Joy-Polis theme park, which is in Odaiba. And trust me, it's not as hard as it sounds. They're quite obtainable, and the games themselves to play are reasonably cheap. It's basically one of them, so you have to hit a mallet to get a score, which I think is over 100 to win. And if you have a couple of goes at it, you'll probably nail it. Trust me, I've won it several times and managed to bring back some Soap Shoe Sonics. Not Soap Shoe Sonic, Joy-Polis Sonics. But yeah. Okay, the one and only Ceci. I feel Sonic Team Racing is pretty much a cash grab of sorts. Yeah, I guess a lot of people are going to say it's like a Mario Kart ripoff, which it's obviously a somewhat copy of it. You know, there's not lie. Sonic has copied Mario games before. Sonic Shuffle, even Lost World was kind of very much like Mario Galaxy. So it's not unknown, but it doesn't mean it can't be a fun game, and it might be good. I'm certainly going to give it a chance. I haven't decided if I'm going to pick it up on launch yet, but I will for sure pick it up at some point. We're going to see what its critical responses are when it comes out. Real responses, not like IGN's logic. Don't use IGN's for reviews. Can you draw Sonic? If so, who would you draw and why? I used to kind of draw years ago, but I never was really that good, and I kind of never saw progression in myself, and so I kind of quit. I'm not really a good drawer. So Who would I draw? Maybe like an awesome battle scene between Sonic and Robotnik in like a metallic zone, and Robotnik's in a massive mech, and Sonic's about to try and hit him. Something like that. I'd like to be saying explosive. Yeah, I hope that's answered your question. It doesn't seem like anything special to me, Quinn Moore. Yeah, you're right. You are right. You're absolutely right. It's nothing. It's nothing special or unique. It's just essentially a racing game. I'm a big fan of Sonic R. I really love that game. Have any of you guys played it, owned it, or ever seen it? It's a really fun racer. It's a little bit simplistic, and it's only got like 5 levels, but I think the music's really awesome on the game. I had the game during its launch year, 95 or 6, I think it was, and it was like one of the very first games that I had so much fun as a multiplayer experience, because me and a friend back then used to play it so much on multiplayer. It was such a fun game. That, to me, will always be my favourite Sonic racer. Scrolling down the comments. If you're just joining, thank you very much for joining the stream. I'm kind of scrolling down the comments as you guys are putting them on there. So if you're new, put your comment on there. I will eventually get it, read it, and respond to whatever your question is. I'm afraid Sonic Racing doesn't interest me unless it was critically acclaimed or really good. We'll see. You never know. It might get a good review. Who knows? What did the previous Sonic Racing games from Sumo Digital get? I'm sure they were reasonably well. I'm sure they got around like a 7 or 8 out of 10. Niggles the Jiggles is talking about Sonic Discord. Spyro, I would be happy to give Sonic Team Racing a go on the PS4 if I can tear myself away from Spyro. Exactly right. There's so much fierce competition around that time for Sega to release this game. I mean, Sega are never, at least modern Sega, aren't particularly known for great business decisions. If I was Sega, I would have either brought the release forward a little bit, or I would have put it back, because you've got a lot of big games that a lot of people are going to want to play around that time, and that's going to impact sales. Not a good decision to release it then. I've been banned from most Sonic Discord, says Quinn Moore. Why have you been banned? Kane Clark, what is your favourite video game other than the Sonic games? Well, the thing is, although I'd probably say Sonic the Hedgehog's my favourite video game character, game-wise, it's not my favourite video game series. My favourite video game series is actually Resident Evil. I absolutely love that series. It's a franchise that I've been a part of kind of like since the beginning, like the Sonic stuff around 1996. I absolutely love those games, and I am so super hyped for Resident Evil 2, January 26th. Otherwise, what else am I a fan of? Another Capcom series, Devil May Cry. Absolutely love that series. Of course, Nintendo. I've been playing the Switch quite a lot lately. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is a true masterpiece of a game, but I'm sure you don't really need me to tell you guys that. I'm pretty sure you're probably aware of how great that game is. It's definitely a generation-defining game, that one. I absolutely love it. But otherwise, I'm just looking at the collection now. I guess I kind of mostly stick to franchises that I've been following for so many years. It's very rare for me to sort of get involved in a new franchise in the video game world. I'm pretty loyal to the ones that I'm following now. I don't usually branch off and start a new one. The only kind of new game that I was thinking of getting recently is Dragon Quest XI, because one of my very good friends was playing it, and I saw it and I was really enjoying it. And it's been a long time since I've played an RPG like that that's decent, at least. Excuse me. I hope that's answered your question. Niggles the Jiggles, Quinn really, because they're not that great of a place to hang out. Oh, there you go. We've got someone here saying that the Discords aren't that great, the Sonic ones at least. They're not pretty active either. Most of them are pretty bad. I was on a Sonic Wikipedia Discord server and the general chat was full of Son Amy stuff. Oh dear. What? I'm not even going to ask. Are you talking about, like, I don't know, is there like restrictions to the type of artwork that can be posted on there? Or is it like literally anything can be posted? Because when you go on these places and it's all like NSFW art, the Sonic stuff is like, yeah, I have to sort of click off any of that straight away. True. Oops, just scroll down a little bit too much. Let me go back up and see what you guys are saying. Sonic and Sally. Yeah, I wouldn't bother getting into arguments with people over ships. You're never gonna have everyone agree with you. It's fine to have the ships, but don't get angry at people when they don't agree with. Like, it's just fictional characters at the end of the day, right? Ben Baldwin, welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen you on here yet. Silver Sonic or Mecha Sonic? Probably going to say Mecha Sonic. Quinn Moore. If someone makes a Sonic the Comic Discord, I might try and make one, to be honest. I hope they try and make it good. Sounds pretty awesome to me. What's poppin', dudes? Your name is BG Shadow GTNS. Quite an interesting username, but welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for joining me. We are almost at 20 people on the stream right now, which is really awesome. And we are 40 minutes into it. Finding those comics in America can be a pain. Yeah, it is true. It's a bit of a pain. If you're after Sonic the Comic issues, it can be a lot trickier to get hold of. I did a video a couple of weeks ago where I was on an eBay hunt for Sonic the Comic issues. If you're after some tips and tricks to how to find some issues on there easier, I'd recommend giving that a little look. My uncle works at Sega and he can get you banned. Oh, there you go. I did mean Sonic the Comic story for a lack of information. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it's great to have people get invested and interested in the Sonic the Comic. It truly makes me happy when people come over and enjoy the material they're seeing. Especially, obviously, the Sonic the Comic is an amazing comic series, and I'm just happy to introduce new fans into this series, and of course promote the artwork and writing skills of the tremendous writing and artists and letterers, editors, all the people that were involved in Sonic the Comic. I always make sure they're all credited in the descriptions. Okay. Mecha from the 80s, you've sent me, I believe, the link I need on Twitter now, so let me have a little look. Oh, I haven't had anything come up. Definitely put the right one in. Maybe it just hasn't come up yet. I haven't had any notification yet on Twitter. That was the correct one, at Ultimate Freezer. It might just not have come up on there yet. But I can't see it yet. I'll check again a bit later. Okay, to myself. Discord is mainly a chatting system for gamers, but it's usually for any topic. it's just a gaming version of Facebook. Well, the principle itself sounds good. I mean, a chatting system's great because you can always find and meet new friends and everything online. Personally, I'm not a fan of Facebook at all. In fact, I deleted my account a year ago. I find Facebook a very toxic environment. So to be able to find like a gaming chat version similar to that would be pretty cool. You could always meet some good people. I'll have to check it out one day, or one day soon. But thank you for letting me know. Isn't Doctor Who a woman now? Yeah, I vaguely remember seeing something about that. I think you're right. Not many people use it for games, though. Okay. I didn't see Series 11 yet. Why? Okay, Ben Baldwin, why do you have a Happy Meal box in the back? Well, it's because of Sonic, see? Right there. I know the one you're exactly referring to. It's when they had the little games you could play on them. I'm not sure the technical term to call it. It's like you little tiny thing and you press the button and you could like catch like a ball or something with the Sonic characters. I just kept a hold of the box. That was why. It technically counts as a Sonic related piece of merchandise and it cost me nothing. And it's pretty awesome to look at because it contains Sonic Heroes artwork on there. It's been a long time since I've seen that particular advert for it. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this is it right here. So let's show you guys. This one is the commercial.
I'm playing a game with the big kids now. They're pretty good, but I'll show them how. I may not jump near as high, but with a little help, I can fly. McDonald's, I'm
loving it. Dude, looks like you could use one of these.
You can get into the action with one of these handheld Sonic games in every McDonald's Happy Meal.
I'm loving it.
There you go. That was the commercial. But that was a long response to your question. But yeah, that's why I have a McDonald's box. Oh yes, I'm in the UK. Time to get that plush. There you go. It's a little bit overpriced, but if you're after it, you can easily obtain one. That's when McDonald's did SpongeBob, Sonic, just like that. Yeah, they don't. That was probably their last Sonic one they did. Sadly, they do a lot of Nintendo ones now, but Sonic's kind of been neglected. Meme Saucy, do you play Undertale? What about Undertale? Right. I'm not going to get the video flagged, but you're asking, do I play like any of the NSFW Undertale? I don't actually know what that is, Undertale, so I'm going to just check on Google to see what you're talking about. The RPG game, you don't have to destroy anyone. No, I don't know this one. It's certainly got a very high Metacritic, so it must be a good game. Maybe I'll look into it one day. But I certainly don't play any of the adult ones, because I don't even know what the main thing is. Quinn Moore. Fun fact, Sonic was the first video game character to have Happy Meal toys. Well, there you go. Pretty awesome, right? Are you referring to the ones that come out in 1993? I've still got, I think, most of them around. You had the Robotnik in the Egg-O-Matic. You had Knuckles on like a cloud thing where he's going to punch in. Towels where you put the little plastic bit in and he spins. I believe that was the first ones. But that's a pretty interesting fact. I wasn't. I didn't know that myself. Grey Fox. Memes, the DNA of the soul. Well, we certainly have someone here who likes memes tonight. Looks like we've got a few people. Ewan Campbell. Well, I haven't seen you yet, so welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for joining me. Are you still working on Sonic the Comic Fighters game idea? I want to help. Well, I appreciate you remembering that video I made about 3 years ago, I think. It wasn't really like a concept of something I was going to go through with. It was just kind of like a parody idea of something that could have happened. I'm personally not a coder or a game developer of any sort, so I wouldn't honestly have an absolute clue of how to do that. You would certainly need something that would require a certain lot of... If you wanted it decent, you would require a team of people and money, and of course licensing. Well, then technically maybe not licensing, because you have all these fan games that are floating around, and Sega don't seem to really care about that. That Sonic Chaos remake that's coming out, for instance, that's not a Sega endorsed product, so I think you could get away with it being Sonic related, but yeah, it's sort of like a pipe dream. It'd be an awesome idea, I think. It was just something that I had in my head around one day around that time, and I just thought I'd do a video on it and see what people think about it. And it got an overall positive response. Knuckles memes are in my blood. Well, certainly Knuckles memes were all part of the internet back at the early parts of this year. Let's see what you guys scroll down. Tails Production, hello, welcome to the stream. Great to see you here this evening. Raiden turned the game console off, man. Have you guys seen the new Metal Sonic 25th anniversary figure and shirts? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw a YouTuber doing a video on that, and it looked pretty awesome. Metal Sonic merchandise is always awesome to see, because he's quite a rare character to have merchandise made of him before. Not obviously so much nowadays. There's certainly some merchandise you can get of him, but there's not much. Go back 10 years, there was literally next to nothing of the character other than probably 3 items. A Sonic toaster. Yeah, I did see that. I'm pretty sure that was posted by the official Sega account. Wasn't it Kickstarter backed? Did it manage to reach its target? Because I'm pretty sure they was only going to they was only going to release it if so many people pre-ordered the toaster. It looked like a pretty cool idea. I got to admit, if I bought it, I wouldn't want to use it because it just looks so cool. I wouldn't want to ruin it. What do you remember of 1996? This is Lord Dukes. They're asking this question. Are you just referring to general knowledge or video games? It would have been around the year the Sega Saturn was in its release. Was the PlayStation 1 out then? Not sure. I think it might have been N64 as well. I would have obviously still been at school. 19. You know what? Let's have a little look, shall we? Um, 1996. I like how Google's gone here. Like, is someone born in 1996 a millennial? Well, clearly not. Yeah, what are your memories of 1996? Let me know in the chat box and I'll read it and maybe you'll be able to jog some of my memories. Quinn Moore, look at that Zelda stuff. Can you see that at the top there? Let me have a little look. Oh yes, you can. It is on the video. Up here, I own like a kind of small, modest Zelda collection. That's kind of literally the majority of my collection. I guess you could kind of say I'm more of a modernised Zelda fan. I kind of got into the series around Wind Waker time on the GameCube. Didn't play any of the others before then. I'm not too big a fan of the ones before then, mostly because I never really played them or had them. But I've played every main Zelda game since then, except for Skyward Sword. You like Castlevania? I've never actually played the series. Looks interesting. I guess it never really got around to playing it back in the olden days, the old ones, and I've never really played the new ones. I know a few of the characters, such as Simon Belmont, and you've obviously got Count Dracula. He's in all of them, I think. They've announced that Simon Belmont in the Smash Brothers, haven't they? Which is a bit of an interesting and strange character to have in the series, but it's another character in the game, right? The Sonic the Comic Fighters game idea, I want to help with it. Well, that's really awesome of you to say. I'm not sure what type of ideas and help would you be able to do with that. I'm certainly open to suggestions. You got kind of bored with Zelda Breath of the Wild? That's fair enough. It's obviously not going to be for everyone. Breath of the Wild is lit. It certainly is, Niggles the Jiggles. Looks like your message, whatever you put on there, Spyro, was retracted. So if you just want to put what your message was again on there, I'll read it. You like Legend of Zelda? I'm guessing you're asking me. You didn't put anyone else on there. But yeah, of course. I've just answered your question about 2 minutes ago. So yeah, I absolutely love the series. Trying to find all the stuff really takes a lot out of you. On Breath of the Wild, yeah, it certainly does. But I think that's part of the reward of the game, of just literally searching the entire map. It's such a rewarding experience. Admittedly, I did have to kind of cheat a little bit. With the Korok seeds, I did have to look at a guide for some of them because I just could not find them. Yeah. Anyone who was able to find all 900 Korok seeds without a guidebook, you have my utmost respect, and that must have taken you ages. Oops. I've had a lot of comments come on in here now. I just need to scroll back up. I accidentally hit the bottom. Put your controller on 4. Don't understand that. Jae-him Young. Do you think Sonic would be in Jump Force? Jump Force? Heard of that? Let's have a little look. What are you referring to? I'm just going to put that in Google. Oh, right, of course. It's the anime crossover game. Looks interesting. I kind of did want to pick up J-Stars and J-Stars Plus that come out a couple of years ago, but I never got around to it. This one looks fun. I don't know if Sonic would work in the game because it's mostly like the show and anime type characters, but I can kind of see if they was to put Sonic in it, a lot of that communities who are fans of like One Piece, Dragon Ball, Naruto and all the others would be very angry because I don't think they'd want Sonic in there, but technically it could work because obviously Sonic X is an anime, so it's not like you can say Sonic isn't an anime because he has branched into that category before, so it could work, but I don't see it happening. I just want to play something else right now, if you catch my drift. Okay. No reviews, you can post anything on there. Do you think, speaking of Sonic X, you were asking that question, Jae-him Young, do you think Sonic X should return in 2019 or 2020? It's never going to happen. I think that franchise is dead and gone. I I would love to see it, honestly. I really did like Sonic X. I was a big fan of watching that during the mid-2000s. I think it gets an unfair amount of hate. I really enjoyed the series. All of its seasons had good fun elements to it. It's not my favourite Sonic cartoon or anime, whatever you want to say, but I'd probably say it's like my second or third favourite. But yeah, I would like to see it return. At least it had a good run. I mean, and at least it did get a final 2 seasons made for it, because after the end of the last season, was it 4 or 5? I kind of thought that was the end of it, so it was really great that we had a green light for a new season, and you had the whole Meta-X, Dark Oak, and all the other characters, and it was really awesome. It was great. Quidmore, you've been trying to get into Sonic collecting and stuff, but what has been holding you back? Imagine 2019, imagine the new season being about Sonic Forces. Yeah, it could work. It certainly could work. Because Dr. Eggman takes over the planet, catches Sonic. It'd be really awesome. Say what you would about Sonic Forces, and don't get me wrong, it had a lot of plot holes, and it was a very short game, but the concept itself was really awesome. Obviously, there was a lot of things that didn't make sense in it, but the whole concept of Robotnik's taken over the planet, Sonic's been captured, there's a resistance, and you've got to fight him to take control back of the planet. That whole simple concept is a great thing, and it should have worked a lot better than what we got in Sonic Forces. What's your favourite Sonic comment? Mario Sonic Fan 101. Comment, eh? I'm not sure what... I could think of a favourite comment. Not sure. Lord Dopestar. Who are the best 20 Sonic the Hedgehog people? As in humans? Or are you referring to like accounts on YouTube, social media? Thinking of, sorry, I've got a bit of a cough. Thinking of 20 human characters from the Sonic universe. I suppose you've got quite a lot. You've obviously got, well, technically Eggman Robotnik counts, Gerald Robotnik, Maria, the President. A lot of the characters from the Sonic Adventure 1, 2, Shadow the Hedgehog game, you had the Commander. But yeah, I mean, to kind of flip the question around, what are some of your guys' like favourite YouTube Sonic channels that you like on here? I'd be interested to see if there are any of the ones that I kind of follow or look at. I kind of keep away from the popular accounts. I prefer to follow and watch accounts that are kind of 10,000 subscribers below. I'm not a big fan of the big ones. They're too commercialised and sort of pandering for begging. I'm not a big fan of that. But yeah, let me know what some of you guys' favourite Sonic YouTubers are. Okay, so you was asking me what's your favourite Sonic comic, Mario Sonic Fan 101. Easy question for me to answer. It would be Sonic the Comic issue 27. I mentioned it kind of a bit at the earlier start of this video. Mostly for nostalgia reasons, because it was my very first comic, and it brought me into the Sonic world universe. It was around the time that the Sonic CD game adaptation art was in there. You had Richard Elson's amazing art style, and of course Nigel Kitchen's writing, and the two match made in heaven. If you've never seen it before, go on my channel playlist and watch Sonic the Comic issue 27. Amazing issue. I hope that's answered your question. I'm glad to see you guys are kind of having a conversation here between yourselves. Your uncle sounds awesome. Well done for banning the insane fans. You said there one, and there are certainly quite a few insane fans. I wish there was a Sonic the Comic spin-off. Yeah, I totally agree with you. At least a canon official one. It'd be great if Sega could kind of greenlight a spin-off Sonic the Comic. Because I have a funny feeling that if they was to do it, you'd probably be able to get some of the original staff back involved in it. Because they've always been a part of the Sonic comic community since its publication ended in 2001. I'm sure you could get Nigel Kitchen and probably Richard Elson back to fit into his schedule, because he's often said that his time at Sonic the Comic was his favourite part in his working career in comics. I'm pretty sure he would be certainly willing to do that as a job again. I really wish Smash Bros and J-Stars Jump Force crossover with each other. Jae-Him Young. Yes, certainly, it would be really cool. Admittedly, there would be a lot of dispute and crying between the fan bases of each other. There seems to be a lot of dispute on the Smash Brothers communities where they're begging and crying that they don't get an anime character in their game because it wouldn't fit. Some people are requesting Goku to be in the game, and then some people are absolutely appalled by that idea. I'm not too bothered about it really, but it'd be cool if we eventually got like a crossover one day of a game. I'm kind of getting a little bit off topic here. So you like Hideo Kojima games? He's Metal Gear, right? Hideo Kojima. At least he was Metal Gear, I think, wasn't he? What are some of the games he's worked on? Yeah, it looks like it's mostly the Metal Gear games. I haven't actually ever played any of his games, I don't think. I really did want to play. I think he made the horror game PT, but it was never officially released because I think that's when he kind of left Kojima, or I can't pronounce it right, the company he was working at. And unfortunately, it was never released, and it looked like a really solid horror game. Unfortunately. Jae-Him Young, Sonic or Goku? Are you mean like in a fight, or do I prefer each other? That's very tough. Who would I say is better? I think obviously for the sake of this channel and everything, I'm probably going to say Sonic the Hedgehog. But Goku's definitely an awesome anime character, and it is from my favourite anime. After this live stream, you're going to make a Discord, Niggles the Jiggles. Well, that's pretty awesome. Ospiro, welcome back. Knuckles is my favourite Sonic character. He's certainly an awesome character. I think STC is my favourite incarnation of him, and I'd agree with that. He has such an interesting, mysterious personality there, rather than just being a stereotypical hothead, referring to obviously the main video game canon of Knuckles the Echidna. And I absolutely agree with you. It's kind of like they didn't really know specifically what to do with Knuckles at the beginning of Sonic the Comic when he was introduced, because they didn't really know much about him. In fact, they even got the colour palette wrong for him at the beginning, because the material they were given by Sega was barely nothing, which is why he looks kind of pink in the beginning of Sonic the Comic. But yeah, I'd probably say Fleetway Knuckles is my favourite incarnation as well. Worst incarnation would be Sonic Boom Knuckles. That is an absolute joke of a character. Really not a fan of what they did to him in there. Jae-Him Young asking me, did you know that Sonic had a manga? Yeah, a fellow YouTuber on here, one of my early subscribers, Orange Hedgehog 2012, I think, did a video on this, and I have read some of it before. She did a video review, I think, of them. They look pretty cool. I don't own them, but they look pretty awesome. From Cora Comics magazine. That's pretty cool. I remember this commercial. Oh, right, so I finally caught up to the comments where you guys were watching the commercial that I played. Lord Dukes is asking us, does anyone own any of the Tomy Sonic toys? Do any of you guys own it? I'm pretty sure you've asked me that you know that I own this. There's several dotted around me. There's a couple in there. There's some in there. There's plenty above my head here. If I just get out of the way. Certainly more a fan of the 90s Tomy toys, but I do like some of the more recent Tomy stuff as well. Sonic Archives. I had that Knuckles one. That was the name of the Sonic mangas, not sure though. Mr. Game & Watch, name source. Tails the Fox, welcome to stream, hello. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're still with me here, because this comment was a little while ago, but I am scrolling down the comments as you guys are putting them on there, and I will eventually get to all of you guys that are commenting on there. Any questions, or replying to what you guys are saying, or if anything I want to ask you. This has certainly been quite fun so far. You know what they say, all toasters toast. That's certainly true, and I certainly do love toast. What are some of your favourite toppings that you guys like to have on toast? I'm just going to throw that out as a completely random question. Let me know what you guys love. Me personally, this is a little bit of a controversial one, but I'm a big fan of Marmite, and I absolutely love having Marmite on toast. There is now Sonic Toasters, so that does mean that they got enough people backing it, and that's pretty cool. Jaheim Young, I wish why Sega never talk with Cora Comics. Quinn Moore, you put in your Discord tag in here. Super Sonic or Super Saiyan Goku in a fight? Probably be Goku, because longevity. Super Sonic is obviously he can't maintain that form for long. Of course, he has an advantage over Goku that he can go in space. Super Sonic can exist in space, where obviously Goku can't. So if the fight was to go to space, then Super Sonic would win if the fight was quick. But I think in most overall stats, Goku would win. Okay, what do we got here? I'm just scrolling for you guys' comments right here. Got 13 people now on the stream, so thank you very much, guys, for keeping this stream alive and strong. Serious Night stream. I'm not sure if I've replied to you yet on the chat box, so if not, welcome to the stream. Out of curiosity, have you ever thought of putting STCO, for those that curiosity means Sonic the Comic Online, on this channel? So I did put one of the issues on there for the anniversary of Sonic the Comic earlier this year. But the only reason I put that one on there is because technically that's a canon issue, because it was endorsed by Sega. All the other issues are not. It's not something I'm probably ever going to put on there. I'm kind of only really sticking to the official canon side of Sonic the Comic, because when you start to put unofficial material on there, it's kind of like where do you stop and start with that? Because I could literally take... People have done strips on such as DeviantArt of Sonic the Comic. I mean, I could just upload that and say that's also Sonic the Comic related, so that makes it count. It's it's a bit of a messy topic, but I'm kind of keeping away from any of the unofficial media out there. But if people are a fan of it, then that's great. I mean, they're obviously very big fans of Sonic the Comic to create the website that they've done. I'm personally not a big fan of it, of what they've done with it. But that's just me. I mean, people's different opinions, right? Spyro, I have really fond memories of Christmas 1996, mainly my brother and I playing Sonic 3D while listening to the 1996 Music Hits CD. Yeah, certainly was some awesome tunes in 1996. Trying to think of some now. And Sonic 3D, I mean, say what you will about it, but I had a lot of fun with the game. I didn't play the Sega Saturn version until a few years after the Mega Drive, I think. I've been a year after. But I think both soundtracks for the games are equally as good. It's very hard for me to choose a favourite. I really like Jun Sonone's soundtrack for Sonic 3D Blast, but of course Richard Jacks did a very great job with the Sega Saturn version. He had obviously less limitations because he had CD audio quality that he could work with for the Sega Saturn version, which is why a lot of people might say it's better, but that's only because the hardware that he was able to use was not as inferior. I don't like to use the word inferior. Inferior was bad, but he had better specs hardware that he could work with. I don't really remember Christmas too much of '96 though. Would I ever work on the Sonic manga? I guess if there was one, I guess why not? I mean, I'm not an artist, so I wouldn't be able to draw, but I could probably write some ideas. I've certainly got a few ideas that I would certainly be interested in writing. Oops, scroll down a bit too much. Let me go back up. There's a lot of comments on here, which is awesome, and I will get down to all of these, so don't worry, guys. Cloud Aries Sephiroth. Don't think I've seen you yet, so welcome to the stream. I'm guessing you are a Final Fantasy fan. That's just a hunch. What do you think a game with Sonic the Comic characters, Captain Plunder, Simpson the Cat, Metamorphia, Techno, Shorty, etc. would be like? Was that what you were thinking of with the fighting game? I guess the fighting game idea I had, the concept would be kind of a bit like a Marvel vs. Capcom style combat, like a 2D based with animated style, not so much like the more recent Marvel vs. Capcom games, kind of think 1 and 2, that sort of animation style with really awesome fluid backgrounds from various Sonic zones and worlds and special zone. Super Marxio world, for instance, would be a really awesome level to have because we've never actually seen that in the comic. That's kind of the fighting idea game I had in the head, at least. But a game with those characters, that'd be pretty awesome to see. I don't think you'd be able to release a game with just those characters. Financially, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't be a success. I can't see many people buying it unless you had obviously Sonic on there. But it'd be a really awesome game. I can see it being kind of like, you could have it as an RPG game if you wanted, or it doesn't have to necessarily be a platformer. You could make it a platformer with hints of RPG. Think of like what Super Paper Mario was on the Wii. That was like a platformer with RPG elements. And it was really fun. I hope that's answered your question. Adrian Bender Olivas, what's up? Well, thank you for joining the stream this evening or afternoon, wherever you are. What's up? Everything is good. I hope everything is good your way. Robert Champion is asking, it's a very good question for me to ask everyone. What is your favourite story from Sonic the Comic? So you've heard it here, guys. What is your favourite story? It can be any story from Sonic the Comic. Let me know. I'm also interested myself to see what you guys say. What's your fave Sonic game, Adrian? Yours is Sonic Adventure 2. Very good choice. Very good choice. I have 3. I can't choose one of them because it's too hard, but it'd be Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Sonic Adventure 1, and Sonic the Hedgehog 1 Master System version. Just one moment, guys. Just wanted to mute that mic there while I coughed. Majora's Mask was always your favourite. You know, I've never actually played that game, but it did look fun. It did get remade. Well, technically remastered, I suppose you could say, for the 3DS. Maybe I'll pick it up one day. Sorry, I've just scrolled down a bit too much again. Lord Dukestar, to be this good takes ages. That was certainly Sega's ad slogan. Do you think we should bring it back? I guess it could be fun to bring that slogan back. I mean, it's a pretty harmless slogan. It's not like some of the many digs they did at Nintendo back in the day, such as Sega do what Nintendo don't. They wouldn't be able to release that slogan again because a lot of Sega games are on Nintendo Switch and DS. But yeah, sure, why not? We could bring it back. Be right back. Okay, Nichols the Jiggles. See you soon. Brigade Leader Haru Suziyama. I think I said your name correctly there, but hello and welcome to the stream. Very pleasure to have you here this evening. And you're just saying you're going to take a shower now and you'll talk after this. Well, thank you very much for the very informative description of what you're doing there. But it's a blast having you here. I bet if I took all this gear off, I would be able to catch it. Mecca from the 80s, no new message on your Twitter account. I'm going to check again right now just to see if you guys have put it. But I don't know. No, I haven't had any messages on my Twitter account from you. So I'm not sure why that is. It is definitely at Ultimate Freezer. My profile photo is a picture of Jill Valentine from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That is my account. So try again on that one and I'll see if I can see it. Okay, you guys are talking about Discord. Lord Dukester, what's the most amazing Sonic the Hedgehog fan piece you've seen? Fan piece? Do you mean like, I could say, like some of the fan games that have been made? I mean, some fans have been able to make some really awesome pieces of merchandise, for instance. Not sure what I could say is favourite piece. That's hard. There's even been some people out there that have made custom Tails doll plushes from Sonic R that look really awesome. I've seen some reviews of those on YouTube, and they look pretty cool. Kind of hard for me to say favourite, but you guys let me know what some of your favourite Sonic fan pieces you've seen. It can be a fan game if you want. Of course, you've got the Sonic Chaos remake that's coming out. That's technically fan-made related. Meme, death is tragic, but life is miserable. Well, that's pretty deep right there. Life is what you make of it. If you're having a miserable time at the minute, then you are in control of changing that. Sonic the Hedgehog toast. I'm reading Lord Dukester's comment here. Wholemeal sliced bread shaped like Sonic. Pretty cool. Cloud Ares Sephiroth, you are saying that's such an interesting piece of trivia. I remember Pink Knuckles at the start. I liked the way he was drawn though. He looked grizzled. Yeah. The material that Sega gave to Nigel Kitchen and Richard Elson, from what I remember, the pictures they had to go with were tiny little pictures of Knuckles. Absolutely tiny, and they couldn't honestly make the definition of what his actual colour was, because obviously he's red, but as it was a tiny, poor quality or low quality pictures they provided with him, they couldn't get an accurate depiction of his colour. And also it's the reason why he has it's like a collar he has, as it's known now, the white piece. Whereas of course the video game version of him is part of his chest. So that's why he had a slightly off colour, and he had a collar, and it kind of became a thing of his in Sonic the Comic, which is why they kept the collar for Fleetway Knuckles, which is pretty awesome. Silent Duelist, welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen you yet. I enjoy Sonic's personality in the comic more than I do in the games. Yeah, I agree with that. Especially the modern Sonic personality. I'm not a big fan of how he's portrayed, especially in like Sonic Colors and Lost World. I'm not a big fan of his personality in them games at all. I thought he was enjoyable to play and watch in Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, Heroes, and 06, even 06, but more modernised Sonic games, no. Nice Mortal Kombat shirt. Niggles and Jules. Oh, thank you. Yes, this is certainly a Mortal Kombat shirt, official one as well, I just want to say. I really like the Mortal Kombat games. They're awesome. More so a fan of the older ones. I haven't actually played their most recent one. I might pick it up at some point. I like the films. It's interesting because the last time I did a group stream like this, I had quite a lot of people talking about, well, a few people was talking about Mortal Kombat. I don't think those same people are here with me on the stream tonight. But yeah, Mortal Kombat was discussed a little bit in the last stream. I just randomly thought I might put it on this evening, or today, whatever. Jaheim Young, Sonic the Comic review, should Archie Sonic have an anime adaptation just like Dragon Ball Heroes? Well, I'm personally not a big follower of the Archie Sonic, but it's certainly got fans out there, so I can't see why it wouldn't the fans would not want to see an anime adaptation. That would be pretty cool, right? Peanut butter. So yeah, we're finally quite up to the toast questions. I'm not a big fan of peanut butter. It's personally a little bit too overpowering for me. It's certainly got a lot of people that love it. You see that off Spyro, you know what I mean. Marmite on toast. You can't beat it. I honestly eat it every day. I could eat it every day if I wanted. I'd never get bored of it. Bit of butter, slice of cheese, slice of tomato. You certainly go all out then, Cloud Ares Sephiroth with your toast. You've got a lot on there. I kind of keep away from cheese on products such as sandwiches, burgers, etc. I do like to try to maintain my slim physique, so I kind of limit how much cheese I eat. It's very high in fat. Tastes too good too. But it certainly sounds nice what you have. 16 people now watching. That's really awesome. Butter on toast. Yeah, of course, you can't go wrong with butter on toast. Is like the standard classic. If you've got nothing else left in your cupboard, butter on toast, you can't beat it. Have I played Persona 5 Jaheim Young? No, I haven't, but one of my very good friends is a very big fan of the Persona series. So I know a little bit about it from him. it looks like a really awesome game. I love how they've you've got the parts of Tokyo in the game that you can walk around. Absolutely love that. But no, I haven't played it. One day. Just scrolling. Right, here we go. I've caught up. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Sonic the Comic Fighters, Jewel and Campbell. I know exactly what you're talking about. I remember. If you want to talk about it in more detail, then please do send me a private message. You can either do that on, well, I don't think you can do that on YouTube anymore, but I do have a Twitter account, link in description, if you want to talk to me in more detail there. Silent Duelist, Sonic. What do I think of Sonic Forces? It's an interesting one. It's got two types of fans of it. You've got the type that absolutely hate the game, and it's got the type of fans that absolutely love the game and adore it. I personally think the game sits right slap bang in the middle. I think the concept of it could have been so awesome. The whole thing of, Robotnik's taking over the planet. It sounds like a story idea literally from Sonic the Comic. In fact, I made a video on it about a year ago with the similarities, and it's very similar to the story. But the premise doesn't pay off as well. They had a great idea for the plot, and it just kind of fell flat. If I use an example, Sonic is captured and literally tortured from what we have shown for 6 months, and once he gets out, he acts as if it's just totally normal. He's going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to beat that Eggman, and it doesn't seem to really care about anything. I mean, that's just kind of sloppy writing. They could have made it like Sonic has literally become a broken character. Like his personality, he's literally been broken inside this prison, and they could have made that so much better. Gameplay wise, it's okay. It's just average. I mean, some of the levels you can complete within a minute. It's a shame. It could have been so much better. I mean, I was never a big fan of the whole avatar creation they had on the game, but I think the game probably would sit at around a 6, maybe a high 6 to maybe even pushing a 7 out of 10. It's probably around a 6.5. Visually, the game looks incredibly impressive. I've got the PS4 Pro and it plays in 4K and it looks incredible. Graphically, I mean, its visual aspect, I would honestly give the game like a 9 out of 10. It's got a really awesome soundtrack as well. I'd probably give that a 9 out of 10. It's just that's as far, the story, amazing, and apart from the plot holes. Infinite's a little bit one-dimensional character to me, but he's got some fans. It's just a shame. It's just very average. It was going to be hard for them to follow up on the critical success of Sonic Mania. At the end of the day, it was never going to be able to beat the type of praise and success that was getting. I would not say never play the game, but I would not honestly pay full price for it. Meme sources letting us know about the first appearance of Mario and a worldwide phenomenon. That certainly is. He is probably one of the most recognisable characters in the world. I mean, what would you guys say is more recognisable in terms of global imagery? Nintendo's Mario or Disney's Mickey Mouse? Because I suppose when you think frontrunner and mascot of Disney, I suppose you can't really say Mickey Mouse. That's because you think Disneyland is literally they've got these things. Let me know what you guys think. Brotherhood of Metallics was your favourite story arc? It was a fantastic story arc. I absolutely love it. I mean, Metal Sonic's probably one of my favourite characters from the Sonic universe. It's such a unique and cool, interesting character design. And the Brotherhood of Metallics arcs was really long, which was what made it even better. You think it had how many parts did the entire story have in general? It was a 16-part story in total. A really long story, really captivating. The Sonic Adventure arc is your favourite, Quinn Mott? Yeah, a lot of fans love that arc. A 10-part story. It's definitely up there in the top 10 stories from Sonic the Comic for me. Cloud, Aries, Sephiroth. Oops, I should have clarified those Sonic the Comic characters alongside the main characters. Thanks. Did answer the question. Well, I'm glad to help you there. Good choice. At least I know how Sonic got his green eyes. He certainly did. I did a video on that about a year ago, and it kind of did blow up a little bit. It went a little bit viral. It's my most viewed video on the channel. Almost at like 250,000 views now. Spyro. I have many favourite Sonic the Comic stories. Fall of the Leaf is one of my favourites. Great to see some of these sort of forgotten strips. Nigel Dobbin did a great artwork on that 2-part story. Really fun towel strip. I also loved the big story arc where Robotnik absorbed the Chaos Emeralds and became a god. Robotnik reigns supreme arc. That is an amazing story arc. I absolutely love that. That would be in my top 5 Sonic strips of all time. It had such a really awesome payoff, that strip. The whole build up to it was really awesome. It was literally like a 30 issue build up there was like seeds planted around issue 104ish, and then we finally got the big payoff and battle between Sonic and Robotnik in issue 130. It was 130, I think. I'm pretty sure it was. It was really awesome. Such an awesome strip. Yeah, okay. I see what you guys are saying here. You are posting quite a little bit of spam memes, Saucy. We're getting a few people asking to mute you. If you want to post some relevant stuff in the chat box, that's fine, but I don't really want other people to get annoyed with the stuff you're saying in here. Otherwise I will have to mute you. Okay. Have you seen Wrath of Nazo? I haven't, but isn't Nazo the kind of unreleased character from Sonic X? He was at the end of the intro, but he was never actually brought into the show. But I haven't seen that. I'm guessing it's a fan-made game. Should Jason Griffith return as Sonic, including the 4 Kids cast? Absolutely. I really enjoy the Sonic X dub cast they've got. Some of the ones, the current Sonic voiceovers are okay. Obviously, Mike Pollock's still obviously with us from the Sonic X era. I'm not a big fan of Roger Craig Smith as Sonic. He's not really... Don't get me wrong, Roger Craig Smith is a tremendous and fantastic voiceover actor. And he's a really awesome guy as well. I've met him in person. He does a tremendous job at voicing Chris Redfield for Resident Evil. But I don't think his style works for Sonic. It just doesn't really connect with me. Jason Griffin, to me, is a much more better representation of Sonic the Hedgehog. So yes, it would. I would be happy to see them back. Okay, we are getting quite a bit of spam here. I'm going to just, there we go. I have many favourite Sonic the Comic stories. Okay, I've actually scrolled back up again. Let me go back down, find out where I am. Do you know, this is Lord Dukester, do you know Chibi Jehen? She's absolutely amazing, works wonders for the new Sonic the Hedgehog IDW series. No, I'm not too familiar with that artist. I'm not a big follower or fan of the IDW Sonic, just its stories, but its art presentation looks really impressive and awesome. So I've probably seen this person's artwork, but I'm not too familiar with their name. The necklace for Knuckles in Sonic the Comic actually means that people know he's an important person at the floating island. Absolutely. Quinn Moore, how do you know about all this Sonic the Comic stuff? Well, of course, I've been a fan of the comic for, since its original publication, almost. The comic started 25 years ago. I probably was a fan of it around 24 years ago. I'm friends with some of the official staff from Sonic the Comic. In fact, Richard Elston's actually one of my very good friends. He's a subscriber to the channel as well, just so you know. He's someone I chat with quite regularly, and I've managed to learn a streuf of knowledge from the Sonic the Comic world from him, and he's truly an amazing human being and one of the nicest people I've spoke to and met in person. I've met him a few times in person, and I've also obviously spoke to some of the other official staff, such as events or conventions, and learned new knowledge. Nigel Kitchen, the two editors, Richard Burton, Deborah Tate, and some of the other artists. Nigel Dobbin, Ferran Rodriguez, he's a really awesome, fun guy. Carl Flint, he's really cool. And there's a few others. Sorry to leave some of your names out. I'm struggling to think here. And I've grown to become friends with these people. Obviously, on a personal level, Richard Elson, and really awesome people. That's how I've managed to learn all this knowledge over the years, and it's kind of stuck up here in my brain. If only there was a degree you could get by having knowledge on Sonic the Comic stuff. If there was, I would be known as a very smart person. Like the Knuckles image about being... Yeah, there you go. I was told that by Rich Elson. You can probably find some of this information on some of the interviews that some of the staff have done over the years on the internet. We never speak about Sonic 06. Well, that's a very, very strong opinion you've got there of it. I own them, and I also reread them every morning, also reading all character Wikipedias. Pretty awesome. Should Marvel, DC, and Capcom crossover? It could work. I don't know how it could be done properly. Of course, Marvel and DC are an American side, and obviously Capcom is Japanese, of course. It could certainly be a fun crossover if done properly, and real life things are left out of it. And what I mean that is that you can certainly see some of this stuff in the news and media, and some of the more modern comics are kind of getting a little bit politically correct. And that's not a good thing. You kind of should just keep it completely open, and you wouldn't see that sort of stuff with a Japanese thing such as Capcom, so it could be a little bit, depending on who's working on it, but if it was done properly, I think it would be fun. Luctum Spirit, do you think Sonic is 11D? 11D what? I'm not sure what you mean there by your question. Eat toast every day. Yeah, sure, why not? Should Sega give Amy Rose a super form? Jaheim Young. Well, I don't see why not. I mean, she's a hedgehog, right? So she could technically become super. Give Amy a bit of spotlight maybe one day. I don't have a problem with that. Can you do a full Sonic 3? Oops. Just scroll down a bit too much here. Sorry, let me find where I was. Can you do a full Sonic 3 story arc video from Project Apocalypse? I will do that one day. I've been working on it. Tomorrow there is an upload of a full arc. It's not Sonic 3, but you might enjoy it. That's coming tomorrow, 4 PM Eastern Time. Or GMT time, I should say, sorry. But that will come eventually. Sonic the Hedgehog meatballs. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. We never had those released in the UK, but I have seen some pictures and videos of them online. They look pretty awesome. Jaheim Young, should Sega bring back Sonic Adventure 3 and based it off the Meta X saga from Sonic X with Silver and Blaze in the game? Sonic Adventure 3 has kind of been one of those things that's been requested since the end of Sonic Adventure 2. Will Sega bring it to us one day? I think the question is can they bring it to us in a good way? Because some of the mainstream Sonic games, 3D ones, have obviously been a little bit controversial with the fan base. But if they can get it done right and they can recapture some of the magic from Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, then I would absolutely love to see Sonic Adventure 3. I can't see it happening in terms of like its gameplay wise, because of course you've got to think a lot of the same people that developed Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 are probably not a part of Sega now. So it'd be hard to kind of do that, but I'd be up for it. And sure, if they do a Meta X saga from Sonic X, I can't see them doing a story from Sonic X in a game, especially Sonic Adventure 3. But it would be a pretty cool story if they was to do it. And Silver and Blaze are great characters as well. They're very fun characters. Cloud Aries Sephiroth, what do you think about the classic modern dimension and franchise split? I personally hate it because it prevents characters from each mixing and limits stories. Yeah, you're kind of referring to like the classic and modern characters, because it was kind of answered in forces that they are kind of from different dimensions now, as opposed to classic Sonic actually grows up into modern Sonic, which is kind of what they said in Generations, but they kind of backtracked and have changed it, and it's now they're from different dimensions. I agree with you. It personally, I don't personally. I can understand it like what you said, but yeah, I'm not too big a fan of that. I would rather it would have been that they grew up into those characters. Kind of a bit like what Sonic the Comic did in the Sonic Adventure arc, how they become their modern forms. To clarify, characters who don't exist as different beings in both, like Mighty, Ray, Knack, etc. in Classic and Blaze. Yeah, you said it there yourself. They kind of can't really cross over with them now because there's kind of the Classic franchise and the modern franchise. It kind of gets a bit confusing. The Retro Gamer 32. Hello, welcome to the stream. Pleasure to have you here this evening or afternoon, wherever you are. Thank you for joining me on the stream. 12 people now watching, which is pretty awesome. We've kept quite a long consistency on this stream of at least over 10 people, which is really awesome. You said Mario is famous, Goku is more popular than Mario. I don't know, that's a tough thing to say, really. Is he? That's a very tricky thing. I mean, I think Nintendo as a business is, I don't know, that's a tough one. Would you say Nintendo is bigger than like the Bandai's Shonen? Obviously, both markets are absolutely massive, especially in Japan. They are absolutely dominated everywhere out there. And I've been to Japan 5 times, and you will see a lot of Dragon Ball and Mario stuff out there. It's very much dominated. Project Apocalypse saying Mickey Mouse is more recognisable. It's a tough one. It's really a tough one. I think you might have a kind of a split decision on that. I mean, if you was to go into a classroom full of kids who are like 5, 6 years old, and you showed them a picture of either, and it's possible they could say they recognise Mario more than Mickey Mouse, but I think you might get a kind of split decision of how things. They're both very famous characters, of course, but it's interesting. Mickey Mouse has obviously been around a lot longer. And you've got here Robert Chapman, Mickey Mouse, enough said. I think Mickey Mouse is more recognisable. He's been around longer, in more media, and House of Mouse is monopolising the entertainment industry like a juggernaut too. Well, there you go. I'm guessing that's kind of like one of the kids' shows. But Mario is obviously still a very, just his image is very recognisable. As you've got here, but Mario is pretty, at this point too. Robert Chapman, you have another question for the chat? Well, by all means, put it on in there. Which Sonic the Comic character would you bring back? I guess it's got to be Super Sonic, right? If you're talking about specific characters from Sonic the Comic, I'd bring back Super Sonic. He's definitely the most fan favourite and loved character from the entire. Let's be realistic here. He is the most popular character from the comic series. So yeah, Super Sonic. Nazo is scrapped form of Super Sonic. Yeah, I have read that before. That. Akira is the best anime movie ever. I hear that a lot. I'm quite embarrassed to say that I've never actually seen it. It's on the bucket list to watch one day. It's pretty embarrassing, someone like me who considers myself quite a big anime fan, to say they've not seen Akira, but it's going to happen one day soon. What if Sean Schemmel voiced Sonic? Could work. I mean, he voiced Black Doom in Shadow the Hedgehog, and he did a great job at it. And he's quite the master of producing very deep voiced characters as well as high pitched character voices. He could certainly do it. Lord Dukester, how about a Sonic the Hedgehog telephone figurine? Yeah, it could work. Why not? That'd be pretty fun, right? You mean what, holding a telephone, or an actual figure that holds a real telephone? I mean, I guess telephones aren't really something you see much days in houses. Everyone has mobile phones, right? Quinn Moore, what's some of your favourite items you have in your collection? I have a lot of the original artworks from Sonic the Comic, which I absolutely love. Some of the covers are incredible, but in terms of merchandise, you might be able to see some. Well, you will be able to see some behind me. Soap Shoe Sonic plush. That's my favourite Sonic plush ever. I absolutely love that plush. It's a very popular and sought after plush, especially nowadays. The Sega World Sydney Australia Dr. Robotnik plush. That is a really awesome plush. I love that. You might be able to just make it out, but I've got the 20th anniversary Sonic statue just below it. You can just see it a little bit on the camera. That's awesome. I've got some pretty unique and awesome bits up here. Sonic the Hedgehog aftershave. I really like that item because it's so unique. Some of the older stuff that might not technically be classified as rare or valuable, such as the original Sonic and Tails plushes that come out in the 90s. Very much nostalgia to me because they were essentially a couple of the pieces of the very first Sonic merchandise that I ever owned. Really awesome. But let me know what you guys think. What are some of your favourite Sonic items from, whether in your collection or items you've seen online? There's certainly some bits that I would like to own maybe one day, such as the Sonic the Hedgehog Crystal Cube. That looks really awesome, but I can't warrant spending like £1,000 on a piece of merchandise. I don't have that kind of disposable income. But I hope that's answered your question. I've got plenty of other merchandise around here as well. But yeah, Richard Elson is a legend. That he certainly is. He is a truly awesome, not just artist, but a really awesome human being. He's really given me some good advice over the years with various related just life topics. He certainly is a really awesome bloke. What we got here? Best people to work on Sonic, maybe. Yeah, I'd personally agree with that. Did you read any of the Sonic books that were released in the UK back in the 90s? They are also based off the Sonic Bible backstory and had a similar sense of humour as the early. Yeah, of course. You of course had the Ladybird books, Robotnik's Oil, The Invisible Robotnik. Oh, there was a third one, I can't remember. They were really fun books to read. In fact, I do have one. Let me get it to you. I'm just going to take the mic off. Okay, so this is one of my kind of favourite Sonic books from the 90s. It's a book called Stay Sonic. So this is essentially like what you say, a Sonic Bible. It talks about the origin and history of Sonic the Hedgehog. Also shows, like if I can show you, it's such an old book that I want to be a bit careful with it because it's going to fall apart. It goes into detail of the origin of Sonic the Hedgehog. Kind of very closely resembles the origin of what you see in Sonic the Comic. There's a lot of reading here. This is probably one of my first books I ever read. And trust me, I'm not a book reader. I get bored very easily of reading books, but this is a really fun book and I'd recommend checking it out. It's an awesome piece of merchandise to read through. It goes into like Dr. Robotnik, the early years, explains him, what he did. You've even got like questions in here, like from that it asks you, proving how much of a Sonic fan you are. And you can score yourself at the end, and it determines how much of a Sonic fan you truly are. If I read one of these out to you, and you guys can answer it. So let's ask this question to you guys. Your mum accidentally pulls the plug out of your Mega Drive as you are about to rack up a truly momentous score. Do you A, you've got 3 questions here you can answer, 3 answers, sorry, to choose from. Do you A, shed a small tear but console yourself that your clock up another biggie next go. B. Tell her she's a dozy old trout and go upstairs to pack your bags. Or C. Fiddle the highest score table and add a bit extra on for your troubles. So you're essentially cheating. So which one of them options would you answer with? There's a load of other questions on it. It's really awesome. I haven't looked through this for ages. It talks about Sonic's diet in here as well. It shows you how bad his diet is and what he eats. You would never see something like this released in modern era because it would be deemed as offensive or it's bad image onto kids. Oh, you can't say he eats chili dogs. He's got to eat salad now. But this is a really fun book, and it also gives you tips on defeating the bosses for Sonic 2, the Mega Drive and Master System version. Goes into a lot of detail, but yeah, I'm rambling on quite a lot about this. But the artist of this book is called Duncan Gutteridge, who's a really awesome bloke as well, who I've met, and I did meet him once, and he did sign the book, yeah, which is pretty cool. Really awesome bloke. So yeah, that was kind of a very long answer, but yes, I have read them books. Just gonna read this. Rich drink. Niggles the Jiggles. His art is so good, but my friends that are in the US hate SDC. Well, it's a thing, right? If they don't like it, they don't like it. You can't force them onto it. I think a problem that a lot of people have with Sonic the Comic is that it's so different to what they are used to with Sonic the Hedgehog. That's what I find with a lot of the American audience who discover Sonic the Comic. And it's not necessarily directed at just Sonic fans. You'll get this with anything. A character will be slightly changed in a popular, well-known franchise, and it will automatically get a tremendous amount of hate. You think the changes that have gone forward with the Batman franchise, for instance, when there's a change of actor or character, there will be a tremendous amount of hate immediately online, and people saying, this guy cannot be Batman, get rid of him immediately. Or even the Joker, for instance. When they announced Heath Ledger as the Joker, and then they saw screenshots of him before the film came out, and people hated it. I was like, oh, this is garbage. This is not the Joker. This is not what he is. He's not just like a common criminal, how he looks here. And of course the film came out and it was a huge success. But what I'm getting at is that if they go to a franchise that they're used to and they see something that's slightly different as to what their interpretation is in their head, they more than likely or possible, not in every case, they're not going to like it. But yeah, as I said, if they don't like it, they don't like it. That's fair enough. It's not going to be for everyone. Did any of them ever read the comic? Okay, you're asking him there. Oops, I've scrolled down a little bit too much again. I've had a lot of comments put on there, so I need to scroll back up. There we go, I've caught up. One of my friends, I'm reading Niggles the Jiggles, one of my friends said the story is good of the comic series, just the art was maybe they wasn't reading a Richard Elson strip, because, I mean, even if you're not a Sonic fan, Richard Elson's artwork is incredible. Of course, there are a few, you would say, controversial artists in Sonic the Comic, where some people might say their artwork is not that good. Mick McMahon was a pretty controversial Sonic artist for Sonic the Comic. So I can, somewhat understand some people might have opinions on him. But I'm not saying he's a bad artist. I don't think he's comic art style suited for the Sonic universe. He's done some tremendous work on other comic series, and he did great work on Decap Attack in Sonic the Comic. But yeah, Cloud Aries Sephiroth. I had a few of those. Chino's the Hedgehog, Agent Orange, Sonic's Time Travel Treadmill, The Fourth Dimension. They were amazing books. Eslaini Leano, Laney, I think I've pronounced your name right there, saying oi. Well, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining me. Mecca from the 80s, check your Facebook. Okay, that's not actually me that runs that Facebook page. That's someone else. I keep meaning to remove that from my header on YouTube. I only actually have Twitter now. I deleted Facebook about last year. I don't have access to it no more. So one of my friends runs that account, so he's probably seeing that now, wondering what the hell is this. But yeah, he'll probably send it over to me. Yeah, Eastern time. Yeah, sorry, you're talking about when I was talking about the upload times earlier, Niggles the Jiggles. I do apologise, I was a bit wrong. If you ask me, they must have a very basic art style tastes, not to be rude. Niggles the Jiggles, but I'm in the UK. Yeah, I certainly do live in the UK as well, as you do. And thank you very much for joining me this late at night. We have just gone past midnight. They're more into the Archie and IDW series. That's fair enough. If they like that, they like that. I only really like STC, Quinn. Me too. I know he's probably going to ignore me, but so I'm pretty certain you are a Metal Gear fan, Meme Saucy, and that's great. I've never played any of the games, but they look pretty decent. I've only read some of the Archie, and the IDW is so lame. That's what you said there, Quinn. And that's fair enough. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I'm not going to disagree or agree. IDW is the new Neo Metal Sonic art. Is cool. I love the Sonic Heroes representation. Silver was inspired by Future Trunks. That's pretty interesting to know. I guess you could honestly say Super Sonic was inspired by Super Saiyan Goku. There's certainly a lot of borrowed elements that have been in Sonic the comic, just Sonic in general from Dragon Ball. But I can see the similarities between Silver and Trunks. Metal Sonic was cool in the IDW series. Well, I've never read them, but I'm going to take your word on that. You made your mind up. Sonic the comic first. This is Niggles the Jiggles. Great choice. Archie second, and IDW third. Yeah, Ospiro. You read some of them books as well. Pretty cool. Knuckles. Whenever Eggman betrayed him in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, he played us like a damn fiddle. Celadon Sound. I don't think you've commented yet on the stream, but welcome to the stream. You are saying, why is this stream on so late? Not complaining, happy to be here, just curious, I missed Sonic the Comic. Well, we've been on for 2 hours now. I started this at 10 PM. Maybe the next one I'll try to do a little bit earlier. Of course, I have to try to fit this with the American audience as well, because the majority of the American audience, you guys are like 6 to 8 hours behind. So if I do it too early, you're not going to be able to get online. So maybe I'll try to do it around 8, 9 PM next time, so I can get a few more people from UK or Europe join. I promise you, we'll do one that's not so late next time. But thank you very much for joining. Yeah, time zones do suck, Quinn. Hello, Sonic the Hedgehog. Very appropriate name for someone to join the stream. Pretty awesome to see you. I've always wanted to go to Japan. This is Meme Saucy to buy an NTSC N64 and PlayStation to play the Japanese versions. yeah, great thing to do, and there's plenty of shops out there that will be selling them in the second-hand market around Tokyo. There's loads, especially Akihabara. You have no problem at all finding them. Do you miss Hypersonic from Silent Duelist? I guess his last and probably first appearance was Sonic 3 and Knuckles, right? I wouldn't say I missed the character, but it'd be pretty cool if he's brought back one day. That'd be pretty fun, right? Is Kenshiro a great fighter? Greater fighter than Toriko, Goku, Captain Falcon? I'm not sure who Kenshiro is, actually. But I'm going to Google it right now to see who you're talking about. Kenshiro is a fictional character from Fist of the North Star manga series. Okay. Not sure on that, so I can't really answer your question whether he's stronger or not. Which Supersonic? In case anyone couldn't tell, yeah, I'm pretty sure we all gathered they were all Metal Gear quotes, Mr. Meme Saucy. Did Toriyama rip off Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku to Hypersonic? I don't think he did. I don't think he did at all. They're kind of two totally different sort of things. Let's be realistic here. The chances are Akira Toriyama is not a Sonic fan, and I don't mean that he doesn't like the franchise. He's probably never played any of the games. Let's be realistic here, at least any of the ones that we're talking about. He's a very busy bloke, and I don't think he probably has any idea of what Hypersonic is. So I don't think he ripped it off. So yeah, I hope that's answered your question. And if anyone else has got anything to add to that, please put that in there. Cloud Aries Sephiroth, your hair is glorious, by the way. I've grown it a few times, but never quite long. Well, thank you very much. That's really, I really appreciate that comment. My hair is currently the longest it's been for quite a few years now. I had it long, maybe about 7-8 years ago, a little bit longer than this. And I kind of had it short for a little while, but I was never a big fan of it short. And then I kind of grew it to sort of a bit like a mop top. I had the fringe here, and then this was about this length. And then I kind of grew it out. What was my reasons for growing it out again? I think I cosplayed once, so I wanted to, instead of wearing a wig, I wanted to grow it longer. This was years ago now, 2013, and then I just kind of kept it around that length, and then I kind of grew it out a little bit longer. I think I originally styled it from a haircut that I quite liked at the time. If you're familiar with the wrestler AJ Styles, I kind of wanted to sort of style it a little bit like him, because I thought that looked pretty cool. So that's why it looks a little bit like that. But I'm talking about my hair, which is a bit random, but I appreciate the comment. The only thing I can kind of say is that if you're a guy on this stream, do not take your hair for granted. I'm just so grateful to be at the age in my life right now and still have a full head of hair. Male pattern baldness is tremendously common, and it's certainly a confidence breaker for a lot of guys when it starts to thin and fall out. And I really do feel sorry for the people that it can affect. So if you've got a full head of hair, do not take it for granted, please. That's a very random 5-minute talk about hair, but thank you for the comment. I really do appreciate that. I'm guessing you're quite happy about Metal Gear Solid Snake being in Smash Brothers, then, Meme Saucy. Robert Champion, I had this split question on my mind. Why is Supersonic crazy in the comics, but a power-up in the Sonic games? Okay, I've answered this a few times, but I'm going to explain it again because you don't know. But Basically, when Nigel Kitchen had to play Sonic 2, Nigel Kitchen is the main writer for Sonic the Comic, to get ideas and stories from Sonic 2 to incorporate into the comic, such as adaptations. When he got Super Sonic Unlocked, he found the character very out of control to control in the game, because obviously he's very fast. When you jump, he goes across the screen really quick. He's quite a tricky character to control. So Nigel Kitchen took those traits from a very fast and hard to control Super Sonic and made it his own character in the comic. Of course, he doesn't become evil and demonic in the comic series until a little bit later in the comic's life, especially the Running Wild arc, which is around issue 80. But in the earlier Sonic the Comic issues, when Super Sonic is present, he's more of like an out-of-control character, not so much demonic. So that is where the inspiration of the out-of-control Super Sonic came from. It came from Nigel Kitchen playing Sonic 2 and seeing Super Sonic in there, finding him harder to control, out of control, make it a personality. And I hope that's answered your question. In terms of Sonic merch, this is Meme Saucy. I have a pair of classic Sonic slippers, 5 socks, the Build-A-Bear Sonic. That's pretty awesome. I have seen that Chow Pack and the Metal Sonic, and they do look pretty cool. Do you have... so yeah, it's pretty awesome, some bits you've got there, Meme Saucy. Jaheim Young, do you have any Show and Jump collections? Well, Dragon Ball, I've got quite a few bits. This is obviously Dragon Ball is shown, right? This, you probably can't see it here, but this top left of the detailed cabinet is full of Frieza merchandise. There's a couple of Dragon Ball bits spotted around. There's some Naruto stuff. I've got a few of the DVDs in there. Don't really own any One Piece stuff. I never truly got into that. Bleach, yeah. So yeah, I do own some bits. Not really an entire collection, I'd say. Just some odd little smaller bits here and there. I need to find mine. I would love to pick up the other ones at some point. Would probably have to eBay though at some gold mine or flea market. Yeah. I don't think they're too expensive to pick up at the moment though. Cloud Aries, Quinn Moore, what's your favourite Sonic the Comic characters that's not from the mainline games? Mine is the Mario rip-off characters. You're referring to the Marxio brothers, right? It's a common misconception of the Marxio brothers from Sonic the Comic. Of course, there are some similarities to the Mario brothers, and it was intentionally designed at a kind of dig at Nintendo. But the original concept for the characters actually came from the real-life actors, comedians, the Marx Brothers, who, if you're American, then chances are you know who they are. If you don't, then I'm pretty shocked. You had Groucho Marx, Harpo Marx, and what was the last one? Chico Marx. And the names were, they used the exact same names in Sonic the Comic, just instead of Marx, it was Marxio. So you had Groucho Marxio, Harpo Marxio, and Chico Marxio. And of course there was some sort of Nintendo references and stuff added in there. They wouldn't have just been able to directly rip off Mario because they would have been sued. So yeah, but they're good. But if you ask me favourite characters that aren't in the game, the Marxo brothers, they're fun. Captain Plunder's a great character. In terms of exclusive characters, I really was a big fan of Commander Brutus, one of my favourite characters that Lew Stringer created. He's such an awesome character, and one of the only few characters to be able to go toe-to-toe with Super Sonic and walk away from the battle. He did lose his arm, but he still did not get destroyed. And that's a very impressive trait, because 9 times out of 10, if you go against Super Sonic, you're going to end up dead. Celadon Sound. My original Sonic and Tails plush from 1992. Somehow they still look brand new. Yeah, that's the same plushes that I was talking about earlier. I absolutely love those plushes. Mine certainly don't look brand new anymore. They have had a lot of use in play. 1992. Wow, that's a long time ago. But yeah, they're awesome plushes, Celadon. Robert Champion, Quinn Moore. Yeah, you've already answered. You answered the question before I got to it. The Marxio brothers. Who would win, Supersonic, or Sephiroth? Cloud Ares, Sephiroth asking that. Well, as I don't know too much about Final Fantasy, I'm going to need you guys to answer that question because I don't know about the limitations of Sephiroth. I have some old Sonic X plushies from 2005. Tails is all messed up and Shadow doesn't have a tag. Are you referring to these Sonic X plushes? Because these ones are here. Those are Volume 1 and 2. Or are you referring to more of the more common ones that were released? Although these were common to be released during their release. They've only just become rarer in the modern years. Sonic. Quinn Moore, by the way, I've seen some works on your wall in your showcase collection from Richard Elson. Yeah, he's drawn me some really awesome sketches before. They're actually on this wall here. They're not the original ones because I photocopied them because I didn't want to ruin them. I've got Sonic at the top. There's Sonic holding Commander Brutus's head, and then there's one underneath with Dr. Robotnik with the Master Emerald. I can't get them off because they're blue tacked on there, but I did do them on a video. I think it was my original artwork collection. Next time I do a stream, I'll get them in person because they're buried under a lot of stuff, and I'll show you guys. They're really awesome. They look new. Did he make them for you? Yes. Yeah, sorry, I've just kind of answered that just then. I didn't read that bit that you said there. Yeah, the top two he did, I didn't actually ask for. He did them as just a kind gesture. I bought quite a lot of Sonic stuff from him, and he kind of did it as oh, thank you so much. Have this amazing. Well, he didn't obviously say amazing sketch. I said it was an amazing sketch. And a few years ago, I asked if you ever had the time for me, would you be able to do a Dr. Robotnik piece? And he did eventually get to it. He's a very busy person. He has a very, very busy schedule. And eventually I got it and I was completely blown away. It's amazing. I will show you guys in the next stream. So yeah, they're not sketches from the comic. They're brand new designs he's drawn. I was looking for Grey Fox from Metal Gear to come to Smash on August 8th. He was an assist trophy again. Well, I guess it's a lot of people are disappointed with some of the characters they put in there. We still haven't had Waluigi, right? He's only going to be an assist trophy. Stay Sonic, I remember that. I'm glad I finally caught up to you guys' comments here. Awesome, bug. Toei and Sonic needs to work on a partnership to bring back Sonic X. Totally agree with you. Yeah, Stay Sonic. Great book, Robert Champion. I'd recommend tracking it down. My classroom library had that back when I was in first grade school. Not in the 90s, obviously. Oh, dear. Wait, so the UK refer to classes now as first grade? That's kind of very much an American word. They never had that when I was at school. It was kind of like you was year 1, 2, 3, 4, year, really. When you get to secondary school, it wasn't called high school. It's called, instead of high school, it's secondary school, and you start that in year 7, I think it was. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, yeah, 7, 5 years in secondary school. I guess they're trying to use more American words now in the UK. The Sabershoof Sonic plush is extremely ugly. Oh, that's fair enough. That's what you think. It's very much based off... the current Joy Polis Sonic plush design is based off of that. Do you know the colours of the Chaos Emeralds? I'm glad you guys have put B as your response to the question, referring to your mother as a dozy trout. Well, a couple of you got A there. A couple of you have got morals, right? You have respect for your family. I'm going to have to drop her from my paywall. I really wish the chat wouldn't do this sometimes. I'm scrolling down and then it just skips the load and I have to scroll back up again to find it. Here we go. I've got to get those extra lives. From Quinmore. Niggles the Jiggles. One day I was playing Roblox. I went to a role-playing game and role-played as Sonic, STC Sonic, and they said how he looked was ugly. Technically, I was bullied. Well, chances are they wouldn't be able to draw Sonic any better. So, if they don't like him, then that's fair enough. Few questions from Jaheim Young. Before you leave, do you have any Show and Jump collections? Well, I did kind of just answer that. Is Yuji Naka better than Akira Toriyama? That's a bit of an unfair comparison between the two because one's obviously a coder and game developer. Obviously, Akira Toriyama is a character designer and writer. He obviously creates characters. He's obviously an incredible artist, not just for Dragon Ball. He's worked in Dragon Quest and Blue Dragon, Dr. Slump, to name a few. So I think it's kind of a bit of an unfair comparison between the two because both of them are kind of very drastically different in their roles. Both tremendously talented people, but I can't really say one's better than the other. And will Hypersonic return in the modern games? Anything's possible, right? I think maybe one day Sega will scrape the bottom of their barrel for any characters they've not brought back yet, and maybe we'll see Hypersonic one day. Okay. Sonic's Treadmill. I do think he's a very talented artist, how I don't really like how he draws Sonic characters. It's fair enough. Yoshi commits tax fraud. Oh, there's so many famous people committing tax fraud right now. It's so you hear about it so often, yet they're still highly praised. But I'm not going to get into that. Does Disney World Resorts Epcot sell Sonic merchandise? Because on Twitter I've seen Mr. Groja. Yeah, I know that user. I think he follow. Yeah, I do follow him. He's one who does plush videos, right? I've not been to Disney. I've never been to Disney World in America. I've been to Disney Paris, but that was many years ago, and I don't remember much about it. So I can't answer that. But if anyone knows if there's any Sonic merchandise selling the Disney resorts, please do let Meme Saucy know. Didn't Sonic 2 come out a few months after Super Saiyan Goku appeared in the manga? No, I don't think so, because the Dragon Ball Z manga, well, you think it started around the late 80s, going into the early 90s, so I'm not entirely sure on which one came out first. I'm pretty sure Super Saiyan was still before Sonic 2. I'm pretty sure. But then you've got to think Sonic 2 was obviously in development for 6 months to a year before the game came out. I'm not too knowledgeable on history on that regard. Jaheim Young, Archie Sonic or Xeno Goku? Have you ever did some video on Dragon Ball on your channel? Okay, to your first question, I haven't actually watched Dragon Ball Heroes or know much about it, but as I'm not too big of a fan of the Archie series, I'm probably going to say Goku, the Xeno Goku. And have you ever did some videos on Dragon Ball on your channel? Okay, so when I first started doing YouTube, I did do quite a few Dragon Ball merchandise and reviews on the anime. Please go and check that out if you're interested in that content. I don't do it anymore, at least on this channel. If you check out my second channel, The Ultimate Collector, which is in the link, that is a channel that I focus on everything that's non-Sonic related. So you might find some more enjoyable stuff on there. But when I did a comparison video on Dragon Ball Z Season 1, it did take off quite well. It's one of my most popular videos. It's like at least in the top 15, I think. So yeah, please, if you just go on my channel, you'll easily find them. Just go on the magnifying glass and put Dragon Ball. All the videos will come up, and hopefully you'll have a blast. Mecha from the 80s. And we finally got the link that works. Okay, let's have a little look. I'm going to see if I can finally see this picture. Okay, I've got it. It looks pretty awesome. I'm going to show you guys the print that Mecha from the 80s was talking about. Oh, we don't need to get rid of that. There we go. So this is the artwork of Metamorphia. Pretty awesome. Very sort of caricature style of the artwork of Metamorphia, but it looks really awesome. That's really cool. Thank you for sharing that with us. Oh, sorry, I didn't have the thing on. There we go. Pretty awesome. Yes, it definitely works now, and it was really awesome. Super Saiyan Goku in the anime came out the same year as Sonic 1, so there you go, he's answered that question for us. I was pretty certain that Super Saiyan Goku came out way before Sonic 2. Sonic the Comic had some brilliant original characters, but Short Fuse and Techno were very well developed, and I totally agree with you. Two of Lew Stringer's most popular characters, they kind of like teased a bit of romance between the two of them at one point, but it never, well, obviously Sonic the Comic ended, and nothing ever became of it. Maybe Techno and Shorty would have got together at some point. We don't know. I know there's some unofficial ideas of what those two was going to do romantically wise, but nothing canon. Celadon Sound. I assume you've been to Super Potato. Super Potato is an awesome shop, and there's two of them in Tokyo that I know of. You've got one in Akihabara, which is their biggest one, and it's an incredible shop. I absolutely love going there. It's like about 5 floors of complete enjoyment video games. The top floor is where you've got all the classic arcades, all retro like beat 'em ups, fighting games in there. You've got all the snacks up there, and then you go down floors, and then you've got so many retro video games for sale. Anything from Nintendo, Sega, or any of the others. It's full of merchandise on sale. It is an amazing shop. It's one of the best shops to go in Tokyo. Akihabara itself is my favourite place to visit in Tokyo, but that shop is amazing. There's also a Super Potato in Ikebukuro in Tokyo. It's not as big as the one in Akihabara, but it's a really awesome one to go to as well. Fantastic shop. It's a little bit tucked away, both the Super Potatoes, so I'd recommend checking Google Maps to find it on there, because it's absolutely worth your time. What is it you're asking now? I always find it hard to leave that place. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Which part of Tokyo do you stay in when you visit? I've kind of stayed in a few areas. I mostly stick to Ikebukuro, because I find that a really fun place to stay. It's kind of got everything close by what I need, and it's got one of the huge central train stations there, so if I need to go to Akihabara way, I can easily get there. I need to go to Odaiba, the station's also from there, I don't need to change. And you've of course got Shinjuku, which is the left way at the train station. It's got literally every place I could possibly go to. It's got plenty of anime and manga shops there. It's got I think the biggest Animate in the world there, which is a massive multi-story building full of anything anime you could possibly imagine. it's a really fun place, and Akihabara for me would be my favourite place to go to in Tokyo, but Ikebukuro is a great place to stay. There's some really, really nice hotels there. Say hi to her and her brother, lol, Mecca from the 80s. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, I absolutely will. Hyper couldn't be a spin-off in UI because Hypersonic was way before UI. Okay. Quinn Moore, I love listening to British people talk. Well, that's a very nice compliment, I guess. I suppose there is somewhat of a British accent to my way of speaking. I can kind of change it to a little bit more British if you would prefer, but I will continue to talk in my normal voice, because that's it. Screw Izuka, he hates Hypersonic. Yeah, Takashi Izuka kind of does change his mind so often, doesn't he? Ah, Mr. Shield, you are back. Welcome to the stream. You've joined us a couple hours into it, but welcome back to the stream. Always a pleasure. How long did it take you to grow it? You're referring to my hair, right? What I was talking about earlier. I guess it's kind of hard to say as one length because I grew it to mid-length and then I kept it at that for quite a while before I decided to grow it out again. But, well, I think averaged hair growth for a person is 6 months a year. So you're probably talking about maybe 2.5 years to get to this length. Maybe a little bit, yeah, about 2.5 years, I'm going to say. If you have patience with it, anyone can do it. Trust me. Meme Saucy. I know some people have wanted Sonic Figma, but in my opinion, I get what you're saying. I'm not a huge fan of Figmas. The only ones I own in my collection are Frieza. I think it kind of works with Frieza because Frieza's such a... his final form, at least, he's quite a simple character design, so it works, but some of the Figmas for the complex anime characters, it just looks... I don't like the look of it. The joints and everything, they're all on show, and I'm not too big a fan of that. But I think the Mario and Luigi Figmas look okay. So Sonic one could work. I mean, the Nendroid worked. Don't hold your breath for him returning. Yeah. I have my face covered. I have my face covered by my hair since I am an emo boy. Well, there you go. Thank you for enlightening us with your hairstyle. Like I said, don't take it for granted. Does that mean you've got it dyed black? Jaehyun Young, I love AJ Styles. Yeah, AJ Styles is a really awesome wrestler, and as you can see, that was kind of the inspiration of the hair. So, at least somewhat. Obviously, I've kind of uniqued it a little bit. I think he's probably got a better head of hair than I have. Mine has gone up a little bit of... his hairline comes to about down here, whereas I've got a little bit more forehead on show. I think this is Robert Champion. I think the Sonic the Comic Time Zone arc are a low point in the comic. Good God Almighty, it is bad. Oh, that's fair enough. That's your opinion. I mean, it's probably the most fondly remembered time zone in Sonic the Comic. The comic itself was going through some developmental hell at that point. Nigel Kitchen had been fired, and there wasn't many artists that were left on the paywall, and this was at the time that Fleetway, or now Egmont, had decided to start reprinting older issues, older strips into their issues, so it weren't exactly an enjoyable time to be working for them. So it kind of might have impacted onto the writing and art style of what was going on at that time. Quinn Moore, my hair is so long I get mistaken for a girl. That's quite interesting. I don't think it's happened to me, or it might have at least from someone looks at me from behind, because it's hard to tell, but yeah. if someone's confusing you for that, then you must obviously have quite a good head of hair. That's all I can say. So don't take that for granted. Taya Toro is better than Azuka. Snake is buffed in Smash Ultimate. Ganondorf is my main, according to Niggles the Jiggles. He's a great character. I kind of would have liked to have seen Wind Waker Ganondorf in there instead, just to make it a little bit different, because we've always had the same Ganondorf in there from all of them. It would have been nice to see the other Ganondorf, for instance. I really liked the Wind Waker incarnation of the character, of how he looked. It's great, of course, we've got Toon Link on there, but I would definitely have liked to have had another character from Zelda Wind Waker world. I don't know who I'd say my main is though. It might even be Toon Link. I do like him. I almost had a heart attack the second he returned. I was overwhelmed to say the least. I loved Snake in Brawl, and I was disappointed he didn't return in Wii U. At least you're happy now. I'm in the fan fave for Samoa Joe. So we've got a Samoa Joe fan here. That's pretty cool. He's an awesome dude. He's a great wrestler. I don't think he's going to win the WWE Championship though at a Super Showdown. I think personally they're going to keep it on AJ Styles. My prediction is that The Miz is going to beat Daniel Bryan to become #1 contenders, and I think The Miz is going to take that championship off AJ Styles, and then I can kind of see Daniel Bryan versus The Miz for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. That's kind of be the long build-up. That's kind of the way it looks like they're going. But yeah, Super Showdown's looking really cool. It's an interesting one because obviously it's in Australia, and I think it airs at 10 in the morning in the UK, so I don't know how I'm going to watch that because I think I'm working. I'm going to try to get the day off for it. Thank you for your supersonic answer. Thank you very much for asking, Robert Champion. Whenever I watched the direct live and saw Snake doing his entrance animation, I flipped. I didn't care about everyone being back. Snake was the only one I wanted back. Well, that's great, and you certainly got your wish. Dragon Ball guy, he made Dragon Ball. Quinmore. Oh, now he is talking about merchandise. I got a Knuckles jumper. Sweater to you Americans. Yes, of course, you are. They do call them sweaters in America. It's pretty awesome. Gonna get off soon, but just wanted to say thanks for answering all the questions. Learned some interesting stuff tonight. Thanks for the stream and your channel in general. Thank you very much, Cloud Aries Sephiroth. If you have already left, but if you are still here, then thank you very much for joining the stream tonight. It's always a pleasure to have you guys here. It's a lot of fun to chat with you guys, and I really do enjoy it. We've kept quite a strong watch list on the stream tonight, and we are currently 2 hours 40 minutes into it. But yeah, thank you very much. It's been a blast answering your questions. Jaheim Young, remember Blue Dragon game? Oh yeah, of course, Blue Dragon. Blue Dragon's a tremendously underrated game on the Xbox 360. It's a shame it was released on the Xbox 360 because that didn't get much exposure. This was during the time Microsoft wanted to try to capture some of the Japanese audience, so they wanted to release a solo exclusive RPG game. So they hired pretty much the creme de la crop when it comes to developmental character artwork. Obviously Akira Toyama, Nobu, I can't ever pronounce it right. Is it Nobu Utuamashi, the sound director? So they had a tremendous cast of staff working on this game, and I really enjoyed it. Some people said it was a little bit too simplistic, but I really enjoyed it, and the anime is really decent as well. It's not a classic in terms of anime, but it's an enjoyable one nonetheless. I had a lot of fun with the game. I actually managed to 100% Blue Dragon the game. It took a long time. It took well over 100 hours. Managed to get the full 1000 achievement score on it. Meme Saucy, I have them in the attic, so next time I bring them down, I'll get the makers of them for you. Okay? I think I own a bunch of bootleg Sonic stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure quite a lot of people have been missold some fake Sonic stuff over the years. I have certainly myself. Oh, this chat box has gone down again. Let me go back up. And some official stuff. There we go, I've caught up. I'm still mad that they did not add Shadow in Smash Ultimate. Well, I don't think... Has every character been revealed yet? There is certainly possible that Shadow could be revealed as an Echo Fighter, so who knows? Niggles the Jiggles. Celadon Sound, off the top of your head, what are your 3 moments from the Mega Drive Sonic games? Ooh, it's a tough one. Top moments, probably maybe the first one would be completing Sonic 2. That was a really awesome achievement to do, especially with all the Chaos Emeralds. Getting to the Death Egg robot at the end, that's like an achievement itself on the game, and it's an awesome feat. I think completing, this is like another completion, but completing Sonic Spinball, that is a tremendously challenging game, that last level, and to be able to complete that the first time I did it was a huge relief, because it's such a tricky game, that Robotnik's Fortress, the 4th level on there. And to choose a third one, it'd probably be playing Sonic 3 for the first time, maybe just going into Angel Island, and oh man, I just remember loving it so much, because that game is just talking about it now floods me with nostalgic memories. So yeah, completing Sonic 2, Spinball, and playing Sonic 3, Angel Island for the first time. 3 great memories. Niggles the Jiggles. Oh, he caught me up to school comment. I was moved to the US for school. I see. Then moved back to the UK years later. Well, how was your time in the US? The US is a place that I certainly really want to visit one day soon. I really do want to get out there. Of course, the US is obviously a massive country, so I'd need to make a list of states that I want to visit. So I can see why you've got some of your American words to some of your sentences. So now I understand. Your 3 memories, Celadon Sound, are saving towers in Sonic 2 ending. That's a really good one. First discovering the Emerald Chamber in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Really awesome. And Mecha Sonic going super. Yeah, 3 awesome moments. And I really like all the ones you've chosen. Meme Saucy was playing Fortnite. Quenmore, will you make a kind of best of type? Will you make a kind of best of type video for this stream? Best of type what? Sonic the Comic related? Let me know what you mean by that. That would be a pretty cool idea. Best of like what? The Sonic characters, universes, games. Certainly sounds fun. Ganondorf, that's why he's your main. Celadon Sound. You've been to both Ikebukuro. Yeah, that's great. I'm glad you managed to find the Ikebukuro one, because I didn't actually find the Super Potato in there until I was on my 3rd or 4th trip to Japan. I didn't even know it existed in there. It wasn't until my friend out there told me to go there. Or I think he showed me, and I was like, I didn't even know this place existed. And the funny thing is the hotel I was staying at was literally 30 seconds from it. It's very much tucked away. Yeah, you're right though. Super Potato in Akihabara, that is the one. Could spend all day in that place. I definitely am planning to be back in Japan sometime soon. Ospiro, random question, but do you still have that issue of Sonic the Comic that had a lollipop attached? I hope you didn't try to eat it. Hopefully you're still with me on the stream, because wait right there. So for those of you that were wondering what Spyro was talking about, that would be this issue right here. So this is issue 156, and this came with a free alien lolly, which is an edible sweet. Now, I've got this in a completely different area to the game room and collections, just in case anything leaks from here. It's in an airtight bag, so nothing should leak, but I always like to be careful. But yeah, this issue was released in the 19th of May, 1999. Okay, so it's possible that this piece of food here is older than some of you watching this video right here. So it's nearly 20 years old. And as you can see, it has disintegrated quite a bit. Now, we had a really hot summer here in the UK, and so it's kind of every year that goes on, it kind of sort of degrades even more. If you look at the back, you can kind of see that some of the liquid has kind of melted down here. This is why I keep it in an airtight bag. But yeah, this is the issue you're talking about. And no, I certainly will not eat it. Why I still have it, I don't know. It's just a kind of just a fun thing to keep hold of, really. 20-year-old piece of food. Yeah. Maybe I'll do a video one day of me eating it. Yeah, anything to get clicks and views, right? I'm joking. Would you guys believe me if I said I don't play a lot of Smash? Yeah, of course. It's not going to be for everyone. Not everyone plays the game. Some people don't even like it. You've got these Smash purists out there who will only play Melee and they won't touch anything else. And if you say you play any of the others, they'll call you like a, I don't know, like a noob or something like that. It's silly. Do you have most of the items that were included in the comic? Quinn Moore. Most of them. I, of course, don't own many of the issues that contain the free food like that. That's a one-off. There was quite a lot of issues that contained Chewits as a free gift, which is like an edible sweet. But in terms of most of the pieces of merchandise that come with the comics, such as stickers, belt clips, little accessories, rulers, I do contain most of them. I guess I'd probably say I have about 75, probably about 80% of the free gifts still for the Sonic the Comic issues. That's the only issue I have that contains food still. And as you can see, looking at that, it's incredibly hard to keep preserved food on an issue. The water squirter, yes, I do have that one. That was in one of the later issues. Celadon Sound, we always stay in Ikebukuro too. Have you ever stayed in Kimi Ryokan? I know the one I'm pretty sure I know the one you mean, but I haven't stayed there. I do like staying in Sunshine City. I absolutely love that shopping resort, and you've got the Sunshine City Prince Hotel. That's an amazing hotel, and you can get some amazing views from the top floors. I really would recommend checking that hotel out next time you go in Ikebukuro. It might be a little bit more expensive than some of the others, but if you can get one of the panorama floors at the top, it's so worth it. But I'll also check out the one you put there, Kimi Ryokan. Oh, and by the way, Sonic the Comic Reviews, would you ever do a gaming video? If you could do if you ever could you start off with a Sonic game? Well, this is an interesting one. You know, I've kind of hummed and hawed on this sort of couple of years maybe now, and I don't know if it's something people would be really interested in if I was to kind of do like a let's play. I mean, not necessarily it has to be me trying to do forceful comedy on a microphone, but it's just such a tired formula now, and like there's just so many channels that are doing it that it's kind of like a dead format for anyone to try to do. I mean, it's not impossible. Maybe one day. I mean, I've got the capabilities to do streaming on games, but would any of you guys be interested in me doing like a let's play on any Sonic games or just games in general one day? Let me know, because I'm certainly open to suggestions, but I'm certainly not interested in turning this account into like a generic let's play gaming channel. I would never do that. If it was to have let's plays, it would be like a one every so often thing. Darkspine Sonic is called Arabian God. Darkspine came before Battle of Gods. Okay. You see, Quinn Moore's just brought up the point I've just said. That would be fun to watch, but do you think they would get any views? And I don't think it would. I think the majority of the subscribers and viewers on this channel are solely for Sonic the Comic videos. I don't think that they'd really be interested in watching me playing a game. Could be wrong. Maybe I'll do a trial one day. You're going to the restroom with your laptop. Thank you for the information. That's dedication to the stream right there. Meme Source likes the Beatles. It's pretty cool. And your hair is black. Is that natural black or dyed black? If you're saying you're an emo, then it's probably dyed black, I'm guessing. I'm lying in the bed. It's 20 to 1 in the morning. Why the hell am I still up? Well, it's nearly 1 in the morning here, so you must live in a UK time zone. Because Sonic the Comic. A scratch and grounder biscuit jar. Ganondorf is my favourite Sonic character. In Brawl, they considered adding Toon Zelda and Toon Sheik, which would have most likely been Tetra. That'd have been awesome. What if Old Man was an assist trophy? When I see Sonic drawn by Rich Elson, I think of Sonic CD. Yeah, absolutely. His Sonic interpretation, especially around that era, was really spot on to the Toei style Sonic CD animation video that starts at the play of Sonic CD. What if Link was an assist trophy? Yeah, that's never going to happen. Neither was Mario. I'd lose all hope for Smash. Oops. Okay, I've got a lot of comments here. I'm going to try to read through these a little bit quicker so you guys don't get left out. Your phone's on 3%, you definitely need to go charge it. I'm going to go log off now. Bye everyone. Well, thank you for joining us this evening, Meme Saucy. It's been a pleasure having you here with us. Celadon Sound, good memories. I've been to EGX this weekend and they had Sonic 3 and Knuckles in the Retro Zone. Couldn't leave until... is that the convention in Birmingham? I'm pretty sure it was. Is that EGX? Yeah, one of my friends went there, so you may have even brushed shoulders with him. I really would like to have gone, but sadly I was working. Visiting the US was amazing. Yeah, it certainly does look amazing. I really am planning to visit out there. It's fun to visit, but to live here, yeah. Best of the moments. Just best of moments type of video. Yeah, I can. One day, I'm trying to get work on. Yeah, this is the thing. Right? I really, really want to put more hours into working on Sonic the Comic related videos here. I've got one currently in work at the minute, which is going to be well, it should hopefully be up next weekend, and you'll see that. But in case you guys don't know, I mean, I work full time. Okay, so and I have a lot of things I need to do out of work to maintain things. I'm not going to bore you with it. So my time of producing higher quality content is limited. I don't get the time to sit there for hours and hours and hours to make really in-depth videos. I can obviously do it, but it's going to take time, such as this one I'm working on now. And so that's why there's delays with videos, and I really, really don't want to go to the levels of so many of these channels now where they're gonna beg you for money on a Patreon. I really don't want to go down that level because that's not what I am. I'm not a begging type of person. Because that's what it is. You're literally begging someone for money. I mean, I don't really want to go down that route. Admittedly, I would like to do less hours at work and put it more into the channel, but at the moment it's not entirely possible. But yes, definitely going to do them types of videos. I found Super Potato and Ikebukuro totally by random on my last trip. 14th visit. Oh my gosh. And I thought I'd been there a lot. Don't feel bad that it was your fault. My girlfriend and I just stumbled across it one day. Well, that's great. Where is your most common place to stay then in Japan? If you've been there, well, you've been there more than 14 times because that was your 14th visit that you found it. I'd love to do it 14 times. Maybe one day. The lolly. If I was sent into the woods for survival and I was left with that issue and that sweet, I would eat it. Yeah, so I finally caught up to the comments on the issue. This one. That lolly may outlive us all. He said 1999, a few years older than me, so yeah. Lord Dukester, what do you think of Game Grumps? I'm not a fan. I said quite earlier in the video, so I'll recap. I'm not a big fan of big channels. A lot of them come across as very self-centered and ignorant, and I'm not a big fan of that, which is why I kind of stick to the channels that are lower in subscribers, because at least you know you're going to get an interaction with that person, and they're not just producing content for money. So I've seen some of their material, and the humour and whatnot, it's not for me. I'm not a fan. But if you like them and others, that's fine. It's just not for me. Kimiri is pretty cheap, but I like how it's a family-run place. I've seen a few sunsets from the top of Sunshine 60 at New Year's. Yeah, that's great. New Year's is... I'm planning to do a New Year's out there one year. It's not going to happen this year, but perhaps New Year's. I'm guessing perhaps you have family out there, or maybe even your partner is Japanese. Just one voice, but I'd be all over watching some Let's Plays. Well, that's really kind of you to say, Celadon Sound. Maybe one day I'll give it a trial run. We'll see one day. It's certainly, I'm not going to rule it out. We can certainly give it a trial run. But as I said, I wouldn't let it impact any of the Sonic the Comic videos. But thank you for your vote of confidence there. Okay, I've just scrolled down to the bottom by accident, but I can see quite a few people are leaving now. So thank you very much for Aspiro for joining me this evening. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Hope you get a good rest, and thank you for joining me all the way to 1 in the morning. Now I'm going to scroll back up and find where I was. Niggles, the Jiggles, comments have been retracted. Your hair was dyed black. My natural colour was dirty blonde, but was turned dark brown caused by age. Blonde hair, I mean, that's a pretty rare trait. I wouldn't go dyeing your hair if you had blonde hair. There's a lot of guys that would love to have blonde hair. Do you know who Some Call Me Johnny is? Yeah, I do. I don't watch his material. As I said, I kind of keep away from the big channels. I don't subscribe to any of them because it's a bit too commercialized and too big for me. I know the person you're talking about though. He obviously does the walkthroughs on the games. It's not particularly the channel for me. I'm trying to think. I literally don't subscribe to any of the big channels other than like a company one. Like obviously I subscribe to WWE channel, but that doesn't count as a single person running it. That's probably the only big channel that I subscribe to. Maybe one of the news ones, and that's probably it. Celadon Sound? Yeah, how could I forget the Sonic CD intro? This has to be another fave. Yeah, absolutely. Was the first time I saw him brought to life through anime. Yeah, same here. It must have been. It would have been either that or Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, seeing Sonic for the first time in animation. And that intro is... I honestly think that intro is probably the greatest interpretation and short animation of Sonic that's ever been made. And it still stands up so well today. Some people might say it looks a little bit dated to today's animation standards. And that's fine, fair enough, but I still think it's timeless. Quinn Moore, could you make a video showcasing your Sonic the Comic items? Okay, so if you go on my channel, I did do a video a few years ago. It's a little bit out of date, but it will show you a video, the items that you're referring to. If I try and find it. Didn't realise it was 4 years ago. Let me mute this. Okay, so if you go on this video here, a complete guide to Fleetway Sonic the Comic, issues 1 to 223. I did this 4 years ago. In this one, I kind of really show you all the issues that all 223 issues, the free gifts that were obtained from them, as you can see there, and I talk about any specific description regarding the issue. Pretty easy to find. It's on one of the playlists. If you just want to go find it, it's called Complete Guide to Fleetway Sonic the Comic, issues 1 to 223. And that's my favourite issue of all time, right there, 27. It's quite a long video, but it is quite informative, and I do kind of show you everything that there is to know about Sonic the Comic. Maybe I'll do... see, this one had Star Wars stickers. I don't remember. I might even have the sketches to show you guys that he was asking about earlier, the Richard Elson sketches. I don't think I did. I don't think I had them at that point. No, I must not have. But yeah, I will probably do an updated video to this one day. I will do a video update to it one day. But that is the best one to look at for now. Sonic the Comic Live 2018 hashtag. I like that, Lord Dukester. I like that. Celadon Sound. In Tokyo, we usually stay in Ikebukuro, same here, or Gotanda. We also spend a lot of time between Kyoto, Fukuoka. Can't see that one there. Tottori. So really awesome places. But yeah, I don't know what it is, but Ikebukuro always attracts me as coming back there. Absolutely love that place. I've just caught up to the other comments, so I've already said goodbye to Aspiro. Thank you again. you had to close your tabs. Still got 10 people here on the stream tonight. That's pretty awesome. Niggles the Jiggles, who is your favourite chef? Gordon Ramsay. Oh, Gordon Ramsay's awesome. It's got to be Gordon Ramsay. I'm not a fan of Jamie Oliver. He keeps trying to ruin too much food. Right? If I want to eat unhealthy food, I want to eat unhealthy food. Alright, don't tell me what I can and can't do. And he's persistent in trying to ruin recipes in all these foods. Gordon Ramsay's awesome. His shows are always hilarious and brilliant to watch. Yeah, Gordon Ramsay too. He's brilliant. Best toast chef. Where's the lamb sauce? Of course, very popular meme. Celadon Sound. I don't have any family in Japan, and my partner is Kiwi. My partner is a Kiwi. Oh dear. I had to just kind of double check what you meant there with that. I just fell in love with Japan on my first trip, 2005. Wow, that's awesome. And kept going back. It bankrupts me at least once a year. Expensive trip. It is an expensive trip, but it's worth it, right? It's worth paying it and going there and enjoying it. I went there. My first trip was 2015, so it would have been 3-4 years ago now. So obviously 10 years after you first went, and nobody I know would wanted to go out there. Like, none of my friends are really like that interested in it or would want to spend that money. So I just had to make the plunge one day, and I was like, I'm just going to go there on my own. And of course, like the first time you do something like that, it's a little bit nervous. It's natural to feel nervous because you're going to a country where, English is the second language. Of course, some of the people are going to speak English in like hotels and airports, but you go anywhere out of the city and it's going to be a bit, you need to kind of brush up on some of your Japanese. But eventually I got out there and I never regretted it once. And one of my good friends who at the time I hadn't actually met in person, I met him online, who's now become like one of my best friends out there, was able to show me so much stuff that I would never have been able to find on my first, second or even third trips. It's an amazing place. I was only out there about there in June, so July or September. It was nearly just over 3 months. I'm sure you're probably planning your next trip soon as well. And yeah, totally agree with what you're saying about the CD animation. Did you ever read the Mean Machines, Sega? Oh, you mean the magazines? Yeah, sure. Mr. Shield asked me that. Of course, they were brilliant magazines. Didn't read too many of them, but I kind of started getting into gaming magazines around the Sega Saturn era. By the way, this is a random question, but I'm always curious, but who is your avatar on the Mr. Shield you're asking me? I don't know who that is. It's really cool hearing your stories about Richard Elson, etc. Sonic the Comic was basically 100% of my childhood. I wish I'd had the opportunity to converse with the creators like that. Yeah, I'm really thankful and grateful for the opportunities I've had, and I really appreciate your comment, just saying that in general. It sounds like we've got quite a lot quite a lot in common, sorry. It was certainly 100% of my childhood. Yeah, next time any of these Sonic the Comic artists are at conventions or whatnot, get in contact with them and speak to them. They're truly amazing people, and you will learn a lot from them. It's probably unlikely that Richard Elson's on the stream with us right now, but it is certainly possible he is watching this and reading your comment. And if he is, I'm sure he's appreciative of what you're saying. As I said, he is a subscriber to the channel. So if you are watching right now, Richard, hello. We all love you. It's Raw, yeah. You've made it to the end. I'm coming quite close to the end of the chat box now, which is the first time, which is great. It goes to show you I've been literally 3-hour stream, and I finally got to the end of the chat box. Cybershell, yeah, I've heard of that. He did do a retrospective on Sonic the Comic earlier this year, which wasn't bad. He did a pretty good video on it. I did put a comment on there, but he's quite a big channel, so he wasn't going to reply to it. But yeah, some of his videos are pretty fun. I'm not a subscriber, but sometimes they might pop up. When you get the chance, would you be able to make a Discord account? So I can add you to the STC server, I might make. Sure, when I eventually get around to making an account, I will be sure to link to you. He's a motivational speaker, Bob Proctor, absolute legend. Well, at least now I know. I've never heard of him, but at least you filled me in. I'd love to work on Discord. And Richard Elson is a god. Niggles the Jewels. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Cybershell is dead. But does he not produce content anymore? I'm not sure. It'd be a bit of a waste. I mean, he's built up a huge market and audience on YouTube. If he's not going to produce material, that's a huge waste. He's a serious legend. Absolutely agree with you, Celadon Sound. And I've reached the end, so if you guys have got anything you want to add there, please do put it in there. I'm probably only going to go on for about another... Well, it's not going to go on as late as the last stream I did, which went until 3 in the morning. But we can go on for a little bit longer. He's kind of dropped off the face of the internet. Oh, that's interesting. So he may actually be dead. Well, it's possible. Hope not, but... Without getting into the invasion of privacy territory, whereabouts do you live? Feel free to be as vague as you like. Okay, well, of course, I'm not gonna put my entire address on the worldwide internet. But I will tell you that I am. I guess you could say, try to not be a bit. I'm close to London. I'll say that. Close. If you want to talk, if you want to talk more about it personally, you can always message me on well, if you've got Twitter or whatnot, feel free to DM me in there, or any other private message way you want to just have a personal chat. By all means, it'll be great to talk to you. But yeah, you have to let me know where you are. That'd be pretty awesome. Of course, don't put your address in the chat box right now. But yeah, some people have theories. What about Cybershell being dead? Chances are he's not. He's probably just disappeared off the internet. So many of these people do that. As I said, it's a waste. Sonic Comic Reviews. Which one was your favourite? Well, I can see the choices you put on there straight away. And I'm going to answer it quickly and say Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog is always going to be my favourite Sonic cartoon. I absolutely love it. My first ever Sonic cartoon, nostalgia piece for me in my heart. Dr. Robotnik is an absolute legend in it. Of course, I like Satam as well. Satams are great. Obviously, it's a completely different tone. Obviously, that's a much more serious and dark comic, which is awesome as well. But for me, Adventures is, I love that guy. I like Sonic X as well. I'd either put Satam or Sonic X as second. Probably Satam second, then third Sonic X, then Sonic Underground, and last would be Sonic Boom. I'm not a big fan of Sonic Boom. He started a Patreon, which got, you see, like, this is what I mean. Why is he... So he's still got a Patreon that people are paying money to, and he doesn't even upload content. Oh dear. Yeah, it's doesn't he have a Twitter or Facebook? I'm sure he must update stuff on there more regularly than YouTube. I mean, what? So he may have been getting money because of his autism. Well, I've seen his stats on YouTube. He would have been making a lot of money from his YouTube stats. He got a lot of views for his videos. I mean, honestly, what down to earth level to ask you guys personally, what are your views on Patreon? Personally, what do you think of it? I'm not a huge fan of it. Personally, I can understand that some people are struggling, desperate, and they do need money and they need support, but it just comes across as very much begging. That I have had to unsubscribe to quite a few channels that repeatedly love to shove it in your face at the start of a video and like literally begging you to give them money for nothing. I get it, right? I mean, if you're struggling, I mean, put the Patreon link in your description in the video below, and if I wanted to give you money, I'd click on it. Right? You don't need to, as a YouTuber, to repeatedly shove it in the person's face, literally pandering to them for money. That I don't agree. Usually, when I see channels doing that, I'll immediately unsubscribe and click off because it's annoying. That's just me though. He was getting money because of autism. Yeah, snooping around as usual, of course. Not many people know that, well, they know that the quote after that, Grounder says, not me. I especially wasn't, I especially didn't hear the part about the clown. Celadon Sound, shout out to everyone in and around London. You're in Birmingham now. Of course you was ERX, right? That's in Birmingham. That's not too far. A couple hours away. We'll have to sort, but heading back home. Oh, London, there you go, London. You're quite reasonably close to me. We'll have to do some sort of Sonic the Comic meet-up at some point. That'd be pretty awesome. It certainly sounds like we'd have a lot to talk about. Nichols the Jewels, what a beautiful dream, but dreams are meant to be broken, of course. Classic quote from Dr. Robotnik, Satan. Jim Cummins did a fantastic job as that Robotnik, but I also really did love Long John Baldry did a amazing job with his sort of British interpretation of Dr. Robotnik for Adventures. When he started getting money from Patreon, he must have stopped getting money from the government because of his Patreon. Yeah, that's something you've got to be careful of. If you try to claim money and then also get money for that, it's technically classed as a job, right? So you are making money, you've got to be careful of things like that. So he stopped YouTube so he could get money. But that's kind of like a bit, well, I don't mean to like dig people out, but that's a bit like lame, really. Like you don't want to get money for producing content, so you want to claim money for free. I don't know what country this person lives in, but the welfare system in the UK is very much abused. A lot of people abuse it to mad, who claim benefits off of it when there's nothing wrong with them because they just don't want to work because they're just lazy. I'm not saying this cyber show is like that, but there's a lot of people in the UK that abuse the welfare system and also the NHS. And but I'm not going to go into this sort of realms. But Patreon is cool if you're actually producing great content. Okay, I get that. I understand that. It's like I said. If I wanted to give someone money on Patreon, I'm going to click it in your description because I've enjoyed what I see. Don't shove it in my face, and that. Having Patreon is good and maybe saying something at the end of the video. Yeah, at the end of the video is fine. I think at the end of the video is fine. You know, just a little quick saying that, you know, hey, I've got a Patreon. I mean, I don't know if it's something I'd really, like I said earlier, I really would like to put more time into producing content on these videos, but I need to work, and I kind of feel like if I was to do something like that, it would make me a hypocrite. And I don't really want to do that. But if I was, I'm not saying I am, if I was to do a Patreon, I would make sure that the rewards for the people that are donating are very much just deserved, and they were getting something, or getting something decent in return, and not just like a shout out. What annoys me is when you get the people that do these Q&As or streams, and I get it, they're popular, alright, but the people that will only reply or talk to you if you're paying them money. Super chats, for instance, people that will, or they'll only show you their names if you're paying them. No, I don't like that. Yeah, you are right, Quinmore. There are positives to it. You know, there are positives, and there is also negatives as well. I think you're right that it all ends up being on the individual who gives the money. You're absolutely right. However, that doesn't excuse the person who runs the Patreon to rip off and take advantage of their audience. Satam Robotnik and Sonic are always my favourite. Yeah, really awesome incarnations of the characters. Satam, Sonic, and Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog are obviously very close and similar. Not identical, obviously they both have the same art style and are both voiced by Julia Wyatt, but they're really cool. Be right back, gonna pause. Okay. STC meetup, I'll hit you up on Twitter sometime tomorrow. Yeah, please do. Hit me up on there and I'll click that follow. I'll follow you on there. As a Darwinist, I hate the welfare system. Yeah, it's I mean, it works for the people that really are suffering and need it, but it's the guidelines and system are just so easily to be abused. It's but yeah, I'm not going to go into this. I'm not here. This is supposed to be fun. I think he does. Welcome back, Niggles the Jiggles. Patreon is like religious beliefs and sex. People don't like having them forced upon them. Well, some people do, but some people pay them a lot of money for Patreon. But yeah, that's a pretty interesting comparison there. Cyborg Man, welcome to the stream. Did you see the new Joker? Which new Joker is this? From the comics? Or is there a new one in the film? Or are you talking about the Jared Leto Joker? I'm not sure on that one. Way past cool, Satam Sonic. Yeah, he certainly is. Yeah, you've got the theme song stuck in your head at 1:30 a.m. Yeah, it certainly is 1:30 a.m. This has been a really fun and enjoyable 3.5 hour stream so far, but it will be wrapping up within the next half an hour. Joking Phoenix Joker screenshots. Okay. I'm going to Google it because I don't know. The Joker. It's come up straight away. So is this going to be like a Netflix series or something? He follows the footsteps as the late Heath Ledger playing the Batman villain in the new reincarnation in the much-loved movie franchise. I mean, as an actor, he looks like he could play the part. Is he going to... you'll have to let me know. Is he going to be in a film? That would be pretty awesome. He certainly looks like... he certainly looks like he could play the part. New movie. Okay, that looks pretty cool. I tell you, the actor who I honestly would think would play the perfect Joker, he might be a little bit old now, I'm not sure his age, but I think William Dafoe would have played an awesome Joker. He actually looks the part. I mean, he looks like the Joker, just as his actor normal self, and he did a great job as the Green Goblin in the first Spider-Man film. I think William Dafoe would be an excellent choice to play the Joker. Sonic the Hedgehog? Favourite Sonic plush? So what's everyone's opinion on the news that's coming out for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie? What do you guys think about all the news and everything that's coming out about it? Are you excited about it? Quinn Moore's asking me quite a few questions. I'm going to answer them very quickly here. Favourite Sonic plush? Soap Shoe Sonic plush. Favourite Sonic figure would be the Toy Ride Sonic Adventure 2 Sonic figure. Can't really see it, but it's up there. Favourite Sonic the Comic issue would be Sonic the Comic issue 27. Metal Sonic collectibles. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, you see, look, Celadon Sal knows what I'm talking about. His normal Osborn really made me think Joker material. To be fair, he plays pretty good roles in all of his films, even Speed 2, which is not particularly a great film, but he really made it enjoyable to watch his scenes. What news? Well, I suppose there's not really news that's come out, but like we are seeing a lot of screenshots online of because they're obviously filming the Sonic movie now. But I think Celadon has the right idea. I am terrified for the Sonic movie. Yeah, I personally think we should go into it with low expectations and hopefully be proven wrong, and it's going to be great. That's what I'm hoping. Some of the acting cast choices are a little bit strange. Of course, they've cast Jim Carrey to play Dr. Robotnik, who's obviously a well-established actor, and it gives some much-needed star power to the cast. However, he's kind of gone off a little bit off the rails over the years. He's been very vocal about some of the political stuff he said online, and it's kind of turned heads. And some of his views can be seen as a little bit questionable, and he kind of really did hurt the Kick-Ass 2 film. Personally, I'm not a huge follower or fan of those films, but he kind of turned on it with the whole gun thing and everything, and it really did hurt the film. But he's obviously done some absolutely amazing films. But we're going to see. We'll see. A few comments going on here now. The casting sounds awesome. Yeah, as I said, the cast sounds good. You've got the actor who plays Ant-Man. I'm not sure of his name, but he seems like a pretty decent actor from what I've seen him in. But the setting and concept, Motana, Green Hills, I won't judge it until I agree. We should definitely wait for a trailer. That's what I'm waiting for. Then we can judge it. Sonic swears in the Japanese ones. Oh, what, Sonic X? Yeah, he does. He certainly does. And an interesting fact is there are a couple of swear words that are, well, not swear words. There is a couple of scenes of swearing in Sonic the Comic. I can think of two off the top of my head. However, they are censored. But one of them does contain Robotnik. Okay, so Niggles the Jiggles here. Sonic is a friend with a police officer in the film because he has no friends caused by his depression. That's not really... Oh, man. Is that really the plot idea they're going for? It can't be. Surely not. Dear, oh dear. Oh, wait. Dunkle Boyo 1. randomly asking, how old am I? Well, how old do you think I am? I like to think that I have a pretty okayish for my age. You let me know, and then I'll let you know whether you're close. In the Sonic movie, he becomes a grizzled cop. Oh my goodness. Sonic has been depressed in Sonic the Comic. Yeah, that's true, but he was only depressed for literally like one issue in Sonic the Comic. I'm not too familiar with the Archie stuff. But, you know, he's not obviously going to be depressed for too long in the film, is he? And I'm sure the other characters are going to be. You see, look, he seemed more sad than depressed. So that could be more of a thing. Like Celadon said, let's give it a chance, you know. Let's hopefully be really shocked at this trailer. Shocked in a good way, I mean. Sonic the Comic reviews is 29. Well, that's pretty cool. I got a cheesy slogan for the depressed Sonic movie. Well, please enlighten us. Because curse words would really hurt. You can't run away from yourself forever. I think you're older than you look. I don't think you look old enough to have 1992. 37, please. You insult me. I don't look that old. Now you're just saying that. 39? I tell you what, if I was 39, I certainly would be grateful for the head of hair I've got with having no greys and not falling out. I think you're older than you look. Yeah, Celadon's got the right idea. He's got to be in his 30s. This has been an interesting debate that we've come to here. Did you see Sonic vs Solid Snake? What is in Smash Brothers? No, I'm not sure unless they did a parody. Yeah, the troll is real, right? The troll is real. It does shock me when some of my friends who are considerably younger than me look older than me. I like to use the factor of a clean lifestyle is a reason to my appearance. Like I know some friends who are years, like 5-6 years younger than me, and like their forehead is literally like, I'm not gonna swear, but it's like literally effed. Like it's proper effed up. It's like lined and wrinkled and everything. But there are a lot of these people who like to. I'm gonna use the word like enjoy the nightlife at the weekends, and living that type of lifestyle continually will have effects on your body, and it will impact. But I'm not your doctor, so I'm not gonna sit here and give you advice. Come on, it doesn't sound that crazy. No, it doesn't sound that crazy. I could be 37, who knows. There's a video where he fights Solid Snake. Okay, I've not seen this video, Cyborg Man. I'm going to have to check this out at some point. A clean lifestyle, elaborate. Okay, well, I'm not sure if you understand what a straight edge lifestyle is, but I follow that religiously. I'm not a religious person, I'm just using the word religiously. It's something I've followed for many years now. I like to completely clean, drug and solvent free. As a result, my body and I always feel great. I usually try to keep a good diet through the week. I like to try to maintain a slim physique. Of course, there's a couple of days in the week where you have to have cheat meals because you need that enjoyment, you know what I mean? But Yeah, I mean, that's what I'd classify as a clean lifestyle. I mean, some people would classify different clean lifestyle as different things, but you know, if people are interested in those things, I've not got a problem with what that's fine. That's up to them. That's great. It's just not for me, and I get that. Niggles to Jiggles, I bet Quinn has a big pimple on his nose. How did you know? Puberty. This is sounding quite random. This is like when you get to the later part of the chat, like when it starts getting late, and then the chat box starts to go into the random, very random, the random realm. By the way, Sonic the Comic Reviews, what type of music do you listen to? You listen to metal rock, emo, pop, punk rock, etc. Okay. For me, my favourite musician artist would be Michael Jackson. So, of course, pop is something I listen to quite a lot of. I don't really listen too much of modern music. If you used to name me some modern musicians, I probably wouldn't know who they were. Some rock is good. You know, some of the I can find good stuff from all genres. I mean, I even like some classical stuff. Classical stuff's good. You know? I'm not too big on metal, but there might be a couple of tracks that I might like. But it's not a genre I'd go out of my way to listen to. I have a lot of video game and movie soundtracks on my playlist as well. A lot of their musics are very much underrated. So yeah, I hope that's answered your question. But for me, yeah, Michael Jackson is without doubt the greatest of all time, and I don't think anyone will ever match his skill level as a musician artist. Selling on Sound, I stopped drinking when I was 20 and have been what you'd call straight edge ever since. Is this what happens when you grind? I don't know. Maybe it is. I've very rarely drinked in my life, and I guess I guess I can do a little story. I mean, I kind of was seeing someone. This was years ago, probably 2000 and I can't remember. Maybe 7 or 8 years ago. I was kind of seeing someone. I weren't really going far, and then we was kind of going out, and this was a person that was who very much enjoyed the nightlife and drinking, and I gave it a go, and it's kind of like you were forced into doing this sort of things because it's part of, especially nowadays, modern society. Like, if you want to have fun, you have to go out and get smashed at your head, right? And if people can do that, that's fair enough, that's fine, that's up to them. But it's kind of implied that you're not fun if you don't go and do that sort of stuff. So I was around someone that was kind of, you know, you had to be around doing that sort of thing. And then I just kind of thought to myself, you know, this is not me. I don't enjoy this, and I'm just not going to do this anymore. I'm going to be who I want to incorporate, and I don't really care what these people think. Of course, after that, I kind of stopped seeing this person, and that's it. I've never drunk since, and I didn't even drink much that last time. And I've probably in my entire life drunk probably 4 or 5 times. So yeah, my advice to you people is be what you want to do. Don't fall into the crowd of the generic mainstream stuff. Alright? Chances are you're going to do stuff that's going to be like perhaps looked upon by some of society. Like, don't care. Like, just if you do what you is right for you and you enjoy it. For me, living a straight edge lifestyle is for me. I've never also touched a cigarette in my life. Maybe that is what Celadon sound means. Reading up Sonic the Comic, you know, you grow up like that. Well, nice. Niggles the Jiggles, thank you for saying. The Dark Knight Returns is the best ever Batman comic ever made. Is that the comic or the film you're talking about? I think there was a comic of that, of course, called. I like sandwiches with Parmesan cheese and lime juice. You kind of had me until you said lime juice. I don't like lime. It's too overpowering. It always annoys me when you go out and you have a drink, not alcoholic, but whenever you order a soft drink, and they have a damn lemon thing in it, and I don't want lemon in a drink, right? So I have to always be the awkward one, like getting the things and pulling it out because I don't want it in there. Random fact for you. Examples of what I listen to: Blur, yeah, they've been around for quite a bit. The Killers, 3 Day Grace, My Chemical Romance. So I don't know the last three that you mentioned there. I know Linkin Park, of course. They're quite well known. I listen to video game music mostly, Quinn Moore, and that's a great choice of selection. A lot of my playlist is video game music. In 2009, Michael Jackson was supposed to be touring the O2, of course, the This Is It tour, and he rented a mansion near where I lived at that time. Oh, that's awesome. He was supposed to be moving in just 2 weeks before he died. Oh, man, can you imagine that, living right near Michael Jackson? As you've been to Japan a few times, you must have been Odaiba. Have you been to the Michael Jackson museum shop there? It is incredible. They've got so much like signed memorabilia and rare pieces that he's done. And if you've been in Joypolis, you will see that he visited there back in '96, I want to say. And he signed it in person, and they've had a few celebrities there, but he's obviously the biggest name. And it's really awesome. The shop is incredible there. If you're a Michael Jackson fan, it's literally like heaven. As well as alt. It doesn't matter, Sonic Adventure 2. Really awesome theme. Personally, I'm a little bit more of a favour of the Sonic Adventure 1. It doesn't matter, but I like Sonic Adventure 2 one too. I eat fish and chips. Well, yeah, it's a very much British tradition. Fish and chips. Classic chip shop fish and chips. Did you know that people are making a meme about Skeleton being about white supremacists? Oh my gosh. You see, this is why I try to keep away from a lot of social media when you get these sort of crazy things. Crazy. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's skeleton is white. It doesn't matter what colour your skin is. That's just your genetics. So... Oh dear, piss off the media. You didn't know that was there. You've been to Joypolis. Okay, so basically, when you come out of Joypolis, you go up the escalator. Is it on that floor? Or is it on the bottom floor? It's literally about, when you go to Joypolis, there's a Madame Tussauds there, right? You see it as you're going in there. It's right near that Madame Tussauds. Literally there. You go in there. It's a little bit tucked away around, I think, a corner. And let me see. I might have a picture of it. Might have. No. Unfortunately, I don't. I don't have anything on this not my camera, on this computer. No, I can't show you, but if you when you do contact me on Twitter, I'll send you pictures over of what it looks like. Joypolis always takes me back to Sega World. Yeah, absolutely. So you must have been to Sega World. I only managed to get there once, and that was in 1998. And I still remember it quite well. In fact, behind me is my kind of Sega World collection. Some of the bits I got while I was there. And I don't know if it's picking it up on the camera, but on the mug at the top is my original ticket when I went into the venue. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant day. Even though it was 20 years ago now, I can still remember it. I was obviously really young. I remember playing Sonic the Fighters there, going up the huge escalator. You had the big Sonic statue. Yeah, definitely check out Odaiba. There's a lot of shopping places to see there. A lot of fun places to go and visit there. I when I first, like yourself, I only used to ever go there for the Joy Palace side of it. But then once I got out and explored, I saw there was so much to do there. And you've of course got Sunshine Bridge. Is it Sunshine? No, it's Rainbow Bridge. Sorry. And you can walk across that, and that's a really an interesting thing to do. If you don't mind heights, then I'd give it a go. It's a little bit of a shaky bridge that moves, and it's a very big bridge, but you can get some really awesome sights from up there. You went to Sega World when it first opened in '96. Oh man, lucky you. It's a shame every time you look at the Trocadero now in London, it's just a shambolic mess. There's like nothing there. It's just completely all shut up. It was originally meant to become a Japanese capsule hotel, but the contract fell through from what I read, and it's now just literally nothing there at all. I don't know whether anyone's ever going to pick up the rights to build stuff there. You played the Sega Sonic Arcade there. I must not have seen that. I did play that only recently, about a year ago, for the first time ever, and that was in one of them arcade cabinets in Tokyo. It was one of them like 101 cabinets. So it wasn't the original machine, but that was the first time I played it. It was really hard. The Future Museum is really cool. Yeah, I've walked across that bridge. Yeah, same here. Walk around the city as much as possible, or I get a proper feel for it. Same here. Quite fortunate because if you stay in the Sunshine City Hotel, a new thing they've got there now is that when you stay there, they actually give you a phone with unlimited internet and calls, like, for free. You obviously you can't keep the phone; you have to give it back to them. But I can't tell you how much that helped me out with my last journey, because I could literally walk anywhere. And if I needed to find a location or I got lost, up Google Maps, straight away done that. Because obviously I don't have a data roaming on my normal phone. It would cost an absolute fortune. It's I think my service would be £7 per 1 megabyte. So having a free phone to use in Japan, incredible. It helped me out so much. Oh, that place. It was cancelled, now shut down. Yep. That's certainly right, Niggles the Juggles. Yeah, you got. There is nothing left there now. I mean, even when it had the Tokyo Toys there, and you had a bootleg anime shop next to it, at least they weren't great. But Tokyo Toys is not too bad to look around. Namco on the South Bank. Yeah, you've of course got the Las Vegas Arcade. You must have been to that in London. That's a really fun arcade to go to. It's the closest thing we'll get to like a Tokyo feel, at least. You usually rent a SIM card. Now I think I've been ripped off. Yeah, some hotels now, it seems, they do give you a free phone. I can imagine a SIM card being quite expensive, especially in Japan. Okay, Niggles the Jules, we'll see you back in a moment. You'll probably be back before I wrap up, but I'm going to be wrapping this stream up in probably about 5 minutes. We'll get to 2, and then we'll start wrapping this up. This has been certainly very fun, and have a really good, enjoyable 4-hour stream. I remember I did take a lot of photos when I was in Odaiba. The rides are really fun as well in Joy Palace. They've kind of changed it a little bit. I don't know when the last time you went to Joy Palace, Celadon, but they've kind of they've removed some of the exhibits and changed it around. The Sonic Q&A thing they had at the top there has been removed. I can't remember what they've replaced that with, but a few things have changed. And they've also made the prizes harder to obtain, the Sonic prizes. The one where you throw the balls into the bucket, they've made that near enough impossible to win now. Whereas before, the game prize itself was as a bucket, and you throw a ball in it, and you have to get 3 balls in it to win one of the plushes, the Joy Polish plushes. Now, before, it was like a beanball bag, so it was a bag full of bean balls, so you know, one of them squishy balls, and you had weight to it, you threw it. It was obviously still a little bit challenging to win the thing, but you could get them in there reasonably easy-ish after a few attempts. Now the ball has been replaced with a completely clear, weightless plastic ball. So it's near enough impossible to get it. As soon as you throw it in there, you'll get it in the bucket, but it will just bounce straight back out. It's so hard now. It's near enough impossible to get. They know what they're doing there now, because they was losing probably a lot of money with people winning them plushes. You've got stuff to do, Quinn Moore. Well, that's fair enough. If you've got to go, you've got to go. I appreciate you joining me here this evening on this stream. You've pretty much been here the whole 4 hours, so that's really awesome. Halloween 2016, I think, was the last time I was there. Okay, so I was there for Halloween last year, and it was really fun. It's probably changed a lot since you was last there. I kept failing to win Halloween Sonic. Next time you get there, I'm sure you'll get him. And you got Niggles the Jiggles. That's how I got my Shadow plush. I was in the US for a Sonic convention in 2014. Was that one of the Sonic Boom conventions? Yeah, I'm going to be wrapping up the stream pretty soon. It's almost 2 in the morning here. And it's quite interesting. This has probably been the most cooled, weather-wise, the most chilled evening we've had for quite a while. I've got a thermometer on my windowsill in this game room, and I can see it says nearly 15 degrees. It's quite chilled compared to what it's been. It's been around, usually it's around 19, 20 degrees in here. Not that I'm complaining. I don't mind the cold weather. A little look on here. So I'm just looking at my stats at the minute. So I've recently just hit 7,600. So I'm well on my way to 8,000 subscribers. Hopefully can hit that within before the end of the year. That would be awesome. Really would be cool. And I'm very close to hitting 3 million views. And that's a huge achievement and accomplishment, and I'm really proud of that, to achieve 3 million total views. Should hopefully get that in maybe 1 or 2 months. That's really awesome. We'll have to do like a celebratory video for that. But yes, there will be an upload tomorrow at 4 p.m. UK time. Let's see what we got here. What are you guys saying? It was an Archie comic convention, but yeah, it had some Sonic Boom openings. Celadon, I'm supposed to be driving at London at 8 a.m. Yeah, well, I do really appreciate you staying with me this this late. It's really awesome. You're not alone. I have got work tomorrow, but it's not that early, but I will have to be up around the 8 o'clock hour. But I will be wrapping this up very soon, so don't worry. I'm just reading what you guys comments here. But yeah, thank you very much for staying. Really do appreciate it. Isaac Clarke, I think Trump is Jesus. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I don't know whether you're deliberately spamming. I mean, look, I've got no problem with whatever people's political preference are, okay? I'm completely flat down the middle. As long as you're not enforcing anything on other people, that's fine. But no spam. There you go. I put the person on a timeout. He was literally either, like as Quinmore said, either a spammer or a bot. But yeah, that's it, guys. We've just hit the 2 a.m. point. I'm going to be wrapping this stream up right now. This has been a really awesome evening. Definitely plan to do some more of these streams. It's kind of going to, these personal streams, I'm going to keep it kind of like a once every 2 weeks, once every 2 or 3 weeks thing. I'll probably be streaming next weekend, but it won't be like a personal stream like this. I've got some ideas of what it's going to be, but you'll find out. But thank you very much, guys, for joining me, especially we've had like Quinmore, Niggles, the Jiggles, Celadon Sound. You guys have been here literally the entire 4 hours, which is really awesome, and thank you guys very much. I appreciate your company and inviting me into your houses or phones or wherever you are out there. So as I wrap this off, once again, thank you guys very much. I hope you have a great, enjoyable rest of your day. And as you put here, Celadon Sound, thank you for providing some great chat. It was cool to speak to a like-minded person. That's really kind of you to say, and I feel exactly the same back to you. As Quinmore is really fun. Keep an eye out for the next one. Won't be too long. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys, and speak to you soon.